Okay, we are now recording.
Oh, good. Excellent intro, by the way.
Well, usually I don't. I don't do this type of thing. I usually do mapping videos, but it's still in the realm of what ifs, so it still kind of counts because I
It
do.
counts. It counts.
It counts. I don't really have an intro. I just kind of get it. Yeah, I don't have an intro yet because I don't usually do this type of thing.
Well, I mean, it's never too late to try something new.
Yeah,
It's never too late to try something new.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So hey, everyone watching, the like 100 and something people. I don't know how many subscribers I have. I haven't looked in a while.
However many subscribers it is, welcome.
Yes,
Thanks for coming.
this is
Appreciate you clicking on the link.
yeah. Yeah, I'll put a link to your channel in the description, maybe.
Thank you. It's coming back. Once Balancing Act Chapter 1 comes out, I'm positive
Yeah.
it's gonna get some reception.
So yeah, this type of video I don't usually do on here. I just usually do mapping videos, which speaking of that, you will get to see a video in the future. I'm doing it on like a alternate timeline going through it, but
Ooh.
but this video is not about that. This video is about female Goku of Dragon Ball.
What? Okay.
Yeah,
Female Goku.
I've decided to go with this um, discussion. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'll go ahead and say it so that the comments don't say it below, even though comments are good for the YouTube algorithm watchers. Um, Moscow did it.
Moscow. Yes, Moscow did it.
Moscow did
Yes, yeah.
it. There's the meme.
Eh, with Moscow's version, I mean, I agree in some aspects, but other aspects I don't necessarily agree with.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you on that one.
Um,
Like, I honestly thought, like, Goku getting with Krillin
should have happened
was, I
earlier.
mean, it's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. Well, let's just begin from the beginning of the story, which would be, Goku on planet Vegeta.
Planet Vegeta and Bardock's second child.
Yes, Bardock's second child. Which, out of everything, I imagine that Bardock's still going to send his daughter off planet, no matter
Right.
what. Like, no matter the gender of the child, he's always going to go, okay, I need to get my kid out of here. Though,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm also surprised because like we are having the discussion about female Goku. That's why I will bring up Moscow's version every here and there just to compare. I'm surprised that Mr. Raditz lover himself didn't put together that maybe Raditz would be like, I have to go take care of my little sister. She's all alone on this crazy planet, and he would actually go to Earth earlier. I
Yeah,
was surprised.
I don't assume, I don't really think that. I feel like Raditz is just going to treat his sibling the same way that he's, treated his male counter
Yeah,
Goku, yeah. But I do imagine though, if a female Goku would at least her appearance, her facial features and stuff, would look more like Gine's while still having Bardock's hairstyle.
I imagine she'd be about Yine's height too, because when you think
I
about
don't think so. I mean,
Goku's.
I'm not really going for a short, a short Goku
Well,
here.
I get that. I'm saying it would be shorter. I think Goku's what 5'9".
5'9". I was thinking 5'7", 5'8" for it, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Goku's about 5'9", and Yamcha's over 6 feet.
yeah. Well,
So I was thinking like if it's female Goku, physically speaking, maybe about 5'6", and maybe on par with Vegeta's height.
no, I'd say a bit taller than Vegeta,
Just a little taller than Vegeta.
like 5'7".
Yeah, about an inch.
Yeah, oh, 2 inches, but anyway, so yeah, if Goku obviously Goku being sent to Earth would just would still come into contact with Gohan, and I don't think Goku's name would be Goku. I kind of see Goku as a male
It
name.
would, yeah. Honestly, because it's based off of
Sun
the
Wukong,
story of
yeah, I
Sun
know.
Wukong.
But
So
I do have an alternative name.
okay,
Genmei. Or
Genmei.
yeah, it's basically I think it's a name. I mean, people in the comments are going to correct me on this, but I think it's a name for brown rice. And considering Gohan's name
That's what the comments are for.
And considering Gohan's name himself is named after meal or rice, rice meal,
Yeah.
or I think it kind of works. Plus, it still keeps with the G at the start of the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genmei.
Genmei, yeah. I found that years ago, and I was like, that's a perfect name for a female Goku. But
Yeah, it works.
yeah,
It does work.
yeah. Because I just don't think Goku as a name is a. I just see it as a male name. I guess because Goku is synonymous with the male, Goku.
Yeah.
But I mean, I always it just feels like a male name. The
I
Gohan.
don't even know how we would be able to turn Goku female. Like, it would have to be a different name at that point.
Well, yeah. I mean, this
It would
Goku
hope
is
so.
like born female, so it's not turning for you. Yeah.
So Genmei would land at Mount Paozu,
Yeah.
all the same.
Yeah.
Be found by Grandpa Gohan.
And Gohan would name.
Die from the Great Ape.
Oh yeah. Before that, Gohan would name this girl a female name because I imagine that's why he kind of picked Goku. It's like, oh, name you Goku. But yeah, I still think similar events to getting the hit in the head, you getting the head bump, and then Gohan dying from the Uzaru.
Yep.
Would
One
still
thing
happen.
we did sort of gloss over is Kakarot
Karat,
an appropriate, huh?
Karat,
Karat. Okay.
Karat.
Karat. Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah, I didn't even have to. I didn't have to think. I didn't even have to think with that.
Yeah.
Just-
I mean, yeah, it works perfectly.
Yeah.
Alright, Karat. Okay.
Yeah, so for Vegeta, when he shows us, like, damn you, Karat! Instead of the.
Damn you, Karat!
Oh, yeah,
I am the last of a dying breed of Saiyans.
but.
Yeah.
So, yeah, time would go on, and obviously, eventually, Bulma would come into the picture. And the interactions between Bulma and Genmei are going to be a lot different, I feel. Because, well, being, I'm not, because obviously Genmei knows the difference between boys and girls.
Yeah, now she would because
Yeah.
because Goku had acute memories of Grandpa Gohan, and only ever knew guys up until Bulma showed up.
Yeah.
So
Goku being
Genmei would be
Genmei?
very aware that there is a difference between
Boys.
men and women.
Yeah, but I do imagine that the first interactions with Bulma would be like originally Goku was all about like Bulma's all like weak and stuff. I imagine that Genmei just assumed all girls were like super strong and buff like her, because I still imagine Gohan would train Genmei no matter what.
I still think the car thing would happen where Genmei's hit by it.
And then she just
Genmei doesn't
throws
know
it,
what it is, wrecks it.
and then Bulma just shoots her right in the
Bulma-
fucking
yeah, Bulma
right in the
shoots
head.
her. Yeah.
It's just that Bulma was gonna murk Goku originally.
Goku, yeah. I mean, that's just how it is, though. In if you have a kid that endures a car crash without a single scratch, I would think there would be something dangerous involving that kid.
Yeah. Either way, Goku Genmei's not gonna be really all that phased.
Yeah.
It's just simple interactions there up until obviously it'd be funny as if obviously Genmei thinks that all girls like have to be are super strong and buff, and be confused with why Bulma looks so thin and so like thin and weak.
Right.
Which yeah, I don't know how Bulma would like react to being called that, like just straight up being called thin and weak looking.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like she would say she would pull the girl power card. Like after like realizing that this girl is by herself, she would say something like, "Oh well, to be honest with you, I'm looking for something that looks like this," and she would show Dragon Ball
Yeah.
because just being able to talk to another girl already has Genmei fascinated but on guard.
Yeah.
But after seeing the ball, she was, "Oh, that's Grandpa.
Yeah, that's Grandpa.
That's Grandpa's."
Yeah, she would see
Or-
the Dragon Ball, the 4-star one, still Grandpa. It would still be Grandpa too.
Yeah.
Um,
So the only advantage of this scene of Goku being a female is Bulma's a little more willing to open up to another girl.
yeah, and also the fact that Genmei would have assumed all girls had tails.
Yeah. Well, Grandpa didn't have a. Grandpa didn't have a tail. I thought.
All girls.
I thought
Yeah.
everybody like me had tail.
Which yeah, but like, oh okay, that's yeah, I got a tail.
It would also be funny because like we're talking about a kid that's lived in the forest for a while. I imagine Genmei is not in anything frilly or anything girly.
Oh no, she'd be in the
Mistaken
same.
for-
She'd be in the same attire she was originally.
Yeah, so I imagine she would be mistaken for a boy and be like, "No, Grandpa was a boy. I'm a girl."
Yeah, so sort of shenanigans with like anime characters being mistaken for girl characters being mistaken for boys. Like,
Yeah.
I'm actually a girl. It's
Yeah,
like
Toriyama would totally play with that suspension of belief. On that.
yeah, that'd be made. Yeah, so
You're a girl and you've lived out here alone all this time?
wow.
What a tough girl.
Yeah. Though I do imagine that some of her opponents would underestimate her more.
Yeah, especially the bear thief.
But
Especially
yeah,
the bear thief.
Yamcha as well would.
Well, here's
At
the
first.
thing, and the suspension of belief would also play in
Yeah.
as far as Yamcha.
That's right. He wouldn't
Because
He wouldn't.
He wouldn't recognize that that's a girl. He'd be like, "Hey kid, you're really tough. Who is your master? Or who's your master, man? Man, I'm a girl. What?
What? But yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, so I think the next portion of the obviously similar to the normal timeline, both of them would head off. Bulma and Genmei would head off.
Yeah, they would have the pterodactyl thing.
Yeah, which
Bulma would teach.
yeah, I don't
her
think the
all about-
pterodactyl thing would go all too differently.
No. But I'm listing it so that we have the timeline. We're just going through it.
Yeah.
So the pterodactyl thing would happen. Then Bulma would show her about what a shower is, and also Bulma wouldn't be embarrassed.
Oh yeah, no,
she
they're
was
both
just
girls.
standing there like,
Being
huh?
both girls, they're
Yeah, they're both girls. They're aware.
yeah. It's not embarrassing. Plus, I imagine Bulma is a lot nicer to this female Goku.
Right.
Is a lot nicer because I always thought that Bulma kind of got annoyed with Goku because he was he was
hard-headed and freaking beastie he was.
yeah, and I think she assumed that Goku needed to knew these things already. While a female Goku is like, oh, Bulma would be happy to teach Genmei all about the world and about being a
Right.
girl and.
Right. I imagine like in the morning, like when
Well,
Bulma was getting.
one thing is, Bulma's underwear wouldn't have been taken off.
Yeah, that, and it wouldn't be a scare like, "Oh my God, Bulma, your balls are gone."
No.
No, that wouldn't happen because she's very aware of what a girl is.
Yeah.
No balls.
And yeah, obviously, Bulma would realize that the tail itself is, actually
Yeah,
real.
yeah. That would be the scariest part of that thing, and I imagine in the morning after, like going off of your thing saying that Bulma would be a lot more friendly to Genmei in this,
Yeah.
you'd be like, "Would you like a cup of coffee?" And of course, Genmei is like, "Nah, coffee makes me stutter, and I don't like it." And I imagine Bulma would extend, like, "Oh, well, there's some fruit juice if you want some fruit juice or water."
Mm.
And I feel like Genmei would accept that before going out, lifting the rock, and breaking it.
Yeah. Which
So there's a lot more camaraderie between Genmei and Bulma instead of
and
Goku.
yeah, at some point Bulma would probably just see Genmei as a little sister.
So, yeah, a little sister-like figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we got dogs barking in my house. I'm sorry if that's picking up.
And obviously, this gets onto the turtle thing where
Yeah. Turtle shows up. Genmei wants to help it, and instead of Bulma objecting, it'd be like, "Well, if you really want to do this, we'll do this quick, and then
yeah,
leave."
there would be no arguments there. As Bulma would be like,
Yeah.
all right, if you want to get
If you want to do it, let's do it quick. I could use some time in the sun on the beach.
yeah. So
I'm just gonna mute and unmute my mic while all of this noise is going on.
sorry if you hear that. My dad's is mowing the lawn.
Yeah, I didn't hear any of it.
uh,
I'm worried about you hearing all the dogs barking in my freaking house.
oh no, it's fine. I got it. But yeah,
So they would get the turtle to the beach.
and
Bulma
this well, what would Bulma do?
would enjoy the idea of being on the beach for a bit, you know?
Yeah,
Like maybe a dino camp with like a mini fridge,
yeah.
something like that. It would be a thing where she would just relax on the beach a bit.
Yeah.
And of course, Genmei would be like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm getting a tan."
Getting a tan.
Getting a tan.
Yeah, and this is, I think, when Roshi. Now we get to the point with Roshi. Actually, if you go with the whole Roshi's not gonna realize that Genmei is a girl.
No, not at first.
Not at first.
Not at first.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
at first.
So yeah, not at first. So Roshi, obviously the interactions would probably not differ too much until obviously Roshi either calls Genmei a boy or he or something.
Right. Hi, you seem pretty capable, young man. Man, I'm a girl. What?
You're a girl.
I see.
And he.
Well, the world is kind to Master Roshi today.
Well, I don't think Roshi'd be interested in a kid
not right. She doesn't have any of the attractive features
Yeah.
yet, but Bulma does.
Bulma does. Yes!
And
Which leads to that same scene, but this time Bulma's
the
actually
panties
still
are on.
but her underwear is still intact.
So not as much of a nosebleed, and Bulma isn't as embarrassed because she is fully clothed, and it is exactly what she expects.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah.
Jeez. God. Toriyama and his humor sometimes.
Yeah.
He definitely loves his dirty jokes, doesn't he?
I imagine though, in the sense of being pervy, and as well as, I wanted to bring this up since we're talking about girl Goku. Would she mature to fighting age faster?
I'm not sure.
Because because Saiyan children don't stay Saiyan children for long. They're a warrior race, so they grow up quicker than a human.
Well, I think actually that's the thing.
Lasts longer.
Well, I think their child lasts up until the age of around 15, and then they shoot up in height. That's what happened to Goku.
Okay.
Yeah, so they mature. They mentally mature faster than humans.
So you would apply the same, regardless of gender,
Yeah.
to go
I know
to
that in between
Goku's.
between the first 3 year time skip, Goku did actually get taller,
Just
but
a little bit, not too
yeah, he
much.
didn't get but we'll get to that when we get to that. We still
Yeah,
have to
but now we have to worry about a pig.
yeah, which is an interesting case because once obviously Goku gets the Nimbus or Genmei gets the Nimbus, nothing like that, nothing changes there. She's still pure of heart.
I would think, yeah, she would still get the Nimbus, pure of heart, all that. Would Boma be a nicer person
I,
thanks to hanging out with Genmei?
I still don't.
Would the
I think it
Nimbus
wouldn't
let
be.
Bulma alone?
Enough time hasn't gone by yet. I don't think
Mm.
for
Yeah,
the.
so it's gonna take a little while for Bulma to. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. So the thing with Oolong,
Oh yeah.
uh, with Oolong, it's more straightforward, whereas
Yeah.
it's not a boy acting like it's an actual girl.
Yeah. Although we
Who's
skipped over the bear thief, didn't we?
not, well, we kind of glossed over that because it would end up being the same.
Yeah.
You know, he would underestimate her, but then again, he underestimated Goku in the original.
True. And I'd
So,
imagine that Oolong would just think that a female Goku or Genmei would be, completely not a fighter, and would just probably get beaten even
right,
quicker.
right. So he would.
Oh
I
god.
am not going to be beaten by a little girl. Who are you calling little? Bam! You know?
Yeah, and so Oolong would be defeated just like that. There's no.
You see, she would play along with Oolong. Oolong would take her home, like, because even Oolong picked up. This chick's even cuter than Poco Wampa.
Hmm.
You know, like, I'm trading up. You know, like,
Yeah, yeah,
she would just go to the house, and I think she would be too stupid to. Because keep in mind, you're still talking about the mental fortitude of Goku.
yeah.
So, like, he'd be like, welcome to my home. I know I'm a pig, but I have such a nice home for such nice little ladies. And of course, she can introduce be like, oh, hey, I'm supposed to take you all home now. What? Yeah, I'm supposed to take you all home now. Your parents are worried sick. Wait, this was all a ploy? You were gonna take them away from me?
Oh god, yeah. Goku not thinking at all.
Yeah, at all.
Like, and that's I think when Oolong would get into that, that fight would
Get
go.
into the fighting spirit, but like I imagine throughout the fight, she'd be like, "Wait, these girls are just not even paying attention to you fighting. Why are you fighting for them? I don't know. I just want to be loved. You know, that one of those things."
Yeah. So yeah, it just imagine is that the girls were returned, but
Yeah,
it's just an alternate fight because obviously
no flying nimbus required.
no flying nimbus required, none of
This
that.
is happening all indoors. It's good.
I
And
imagine that Goku. I just imagine that Genmei would destroy a large like a large portions of the building. Like, destroying a bunch of Oolong's, precious prized
oh
possessions.
yeah, in the middle of the fight, like she runs into a pot or something, like ah, like he's in a form, so don't break that, huh? Don't. Oh, so I shouldn't do this, and she breaks something. No, please stop.
Yeah.
This is my home. Then are you gonna let the girls go? She breaks something else. Ah, okay, you can take them. Stop breaking my home.
Yeah. That's very. I could see that happening.
I could totally see that happening where she's just intimidating him by busting his house out.
Yeah. So.
And then, the whole transformation shtick, she would share that with Bulma. And Oolong would join the party because Bulma would be like, well, hang on, because that's a talent. That's a useful talent.
Yeah. So we got Oolong.
Then
Oolong acquired.
Yep, he gets the piggy laxative.
Yep. And Bulma still loses her capsules.
yeah, because this is still a mental fortitude of Goku from the original. So even Genmei would be like, Genmei might mention it and be like, "Hey, what about your capsule thingies?" Oh no, you know, like,
Yeah.
so they would still go through the they would go through the desert, and they would be accosted by Puar and Yamcha.
Yeah, and and the same with Yamcha just assumes that,
That Genmei
as
is
a dude,
male.
as a male.
Would okay? Goku introduced himself to Yamcha, right?
I don't think so. I've actually watched that originally. I think it was just,
It was just, "Hey kid, how would you
yeah,
get the power pole?" Okay,
yeah. It
because I was
was.
gonna say,
They
because
kind of
if
fought.
he heard
They
the
kind of
name
fought
Genmei,
first. They fought first, and then Yamcha noticed the power pole.
yeah, oh yeah, you are right. So she wouldn't even introduce herself as Genmei. Um, she would be wary, because starving
Yeah,
and uh, been walking through the desert
desert.
a lot.
Yeah, though to be fair,
Uh,
Genmei didn't really mind the desert, but
no, I
I
mean,
think that just comes down to a sane biology.
yeah, that just comes down to the same biology and not having enough energy to do much of anything.
Yeah,
That's what that comes down to. So I imagine the fight would more than likely go the same way.
yeah, and then just I think halfway through the fight, Yamcha would like realize, so you're that Gohan's grandson. It's like
Grandson.
granddaughter, and granddaughter. It's like, wait, you're a girl.
Wait. I imagine no. Well, I still would imagine. I imagine he'd be like, wait, if that's the power pole, then you're his daughter.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
because if the legend, if he's heard the legend and it's like, yeah, he had a grandson, and he heard that he had a grandson, then in this continuity, he would hear that he had a granddaughter, and after putting two and together with the power pole,
though.
you know,
Though Yamcha, I don't. He still had no interest in. He only got scared of girls his age. So,
yeah, yeah,
but he
okay,
was.
but he would still see Bulma.
Yeah, he'd still see Bulma.
Yeah,
But I think,
yeah.
yeah, I think he wouldn't go for the Wolfang Fist yet because he'd just be thinking, wait, hold on, his granddaughter, oh, and that's and that's when Bulma would pop up.
I would think actually he would go for the Wolfang Fist sooner, because think about it, he was on par with Goku up to this point. So on par with Genmei, he would be infuriated. I'm being beaten up by a little girl.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, I guess.
So he would go Wolfang Fist sooner, thinking that it's more of an insult than anything.
Yeah, him getting beaten up by a girl.
A little girl is
No
this
matter,
strong?
just because it doesn't matter that she's the granddaughter of Gohan. Yeah, he's not gonna let that. He's not gonna. That's hurting his pride deep
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
So he would be more ferocious after finding out, and then Bulma would happen. He would go red face and retreat.
Yep. And obviously the Oolong's van that he has would
Come into play.
come into play, and yeah, again they would just eat all the food. And Oolong would probably be surprised at the fact that Genmei could eat so much for a
Yeah, but this girl doesn't care about her diet at all.
girl doesn't care about her diet. Not realizing that Genmei obviously as a Saiyan just is not biological.
Nobody knows.
No, yeah,
What
no one knows at
Genmei
this
is
point.
yet.
No one knows at this
Yeah.
point that Genmei's as a Saiyan.
All they know is girl with monkey tail.
Yeah.
More
Would-
of a martial artist than
Yeah,
anything.
more than yeah. And that
So
yeah.
The next step would be Fire Mountain.
Yeah, but
Wouldn't it?
though there was that fight with Oolong during the night, which I imagine just goes pretty normal at the same as normal.
Yeah.
There isn't really anything there that would, change events.
Yep. You're right.
Except
Oh,
that
there's also
Yamcha would probably
the
feel a lot more slighted being beaten by a girl twice.
and we also skipped over the herd of wolves that
Well, that's filler.
Genmei took out. I mean, that was some entertaining filler, to be fair.
I mean, not all filler's bad. I know that.
Okay, so next up is Mount Frypan.
Yeah, the Fry Pan Mountain. Now this is an interesting shift in the timeline here, getting into here. Because now the initial portion of it would probably go as normal with with Genmei
With
5.
Genmei versus the Ox King,
Yeah.
and realizing the Ox King has a power level of 900 apparently.
I don't think he does. I think he's like similar to Gohan's or a little bit stronger.
That was a I think there was a movie pamphlet that said
Yeah,
that
I
his power level
don't
was
I don't
900.
really I don't think his power level's 900.
No, I think it's much weaker, but still at this point it's much higher than 80 or 100 for that matter.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about the Ox King, quite.
Genmei's power level would still be 10, but
Yeah.
so yeah, so that fight happens, and then obviously Ox King remembers. Oh, it looks at the Nimbus like, where did you get that cloud? And that whole thing goes down.
Yeah.
Very
And
similar.
talk about how Roshi would be able to get rid of the fire.
Yeah, and I
Also,
think
his
Ox King
daughter's
wouldn't really
gone.
be phased by Genmei's gender because obviously, it's Gohan, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Gohan, oh, yeah, you're Gohan's granddaughter. Huh, neat.
Yeah, I knew he had a good eye for students because you're quite strong for your age.
Yeah. That's the thing. He wouldn't even, there wouldn't be anything about Genmei, Goku, because that's the thing. We get to Chi-Chi, and
They're best friends at that point.
At this
They
point,
would be best friends.
yeah, they'd just be best friends. And honestly, I think Genmei's gender would make Chi-Chi think, hang on, oh, I can be a fighter too?
Yeah. Also, Chi-Chi would, because of how she was super into boys at the time,
Yeah.
and knowing that Genmei is a girl, since Genmei is a girl's name,
Yep.
like, hey, what's your name? Genmei. Oh, you're a girl. That would basically be the conversation. Chi-Chi would still have eyes on that handsome
Yamcha.
bandit that was here not long ago.
Yeah, Chi-Chi would still have eyes on Yamcha.
Yeah.
Okay, that's definitely a change.
Just shy is all.
He's just shy. He's just
Just
shy.
a shy boy. How cute and romantic.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I don't know if
Genmei would get Chi-Chi back.
yeah. Oh well, they go to the Roshi's Island first, and then
Yeah, they get Chi-Chi and Genmei go to Roshi's Island, say, hey, we need the Bancho fan. Roshi can't find it.
because he spilt soup on it.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was a type of Japanese soup.
Yep. And so he rides the Gamera
Yeah.
in order to get there and, puts out Fire Mountain. And this is where Genmei does the little Kamehameha.
Yeah. Just does
I imagine it would be a bit smaller.
Why?
Because as far as Saiyan biology is concerned, a lot of the warriors had to, and I kind of went over this when I went with the female Vegeta, what if? A lot of the women had to be on planet because their main export was babies.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, the warrior race would be around guys.
True.
So,
Though,
The
still
biology
the Saiyan.
would come into question on that.
Yeah, I still think Genmei's would be the same as Goku's. It'd probably be the same size.
I imagine I imagine you're right because Toriyama's writing would be like, I just wanted to do this.
Yeah, I just wanted to do this.
I wanted to be able to do this.
Yeah.
But there would be discussions about that, like
Oh,
solely
in that time,
because for
though, that does bring up a good point in how the real world react to a female shonen character in the 80s.
I mean, I imagine it would have the same effect as like the Powerpuff Girls. You know, a lot of guys nowadays that grew up on Cartoon Network, and you ask them, "What was your favorite cartoons?" You know, often in that list, they'll list off like Dexter's
Yeah.
Laboratory, Ed, Ed, and Eddy. Somewhere
Though
in that
I do
list,
imagine that Dragon Ball would have a larger female fan base.
it would have a larger female fan base, and it would also it would be associated more often with stuff like Sailor Moon, for example.
Yeah.
Sailor Moon was an anime that was geared towards women, and it was also part of Toonami's anime block. So when it comes down to the anime block having stuff like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball with a female protagonist,
Yeah.
more girls would
Yeah.
actually flock to it.
Yeah, but let's get back into the actual universe now. But
Right.
yeah.
Right. So the little Kamehameha, Bulma would be angry for the first time. Well, so the first time since busting her car at Mount Paozu
Yeah.
with Genmei, and Genmei would just be like, "What? I wanted to try. I didn't think it would work." You know?
Yeah. And obviously Roshi would still like, oh, do you want to train Genmei?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This girl is talented.
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
after
yeah.
you're done with your adventure, come to my island.
Now, yeah. And here's the question: would Chi-Chi want to go with Bulma and Genmei and Oolong? Because
I would think. I would think not yet.
not yet.
I would think that when Genmei got the invitation to Roshi, Chi-Chi would maybe want to start training on her own.
Yeah, or with her father.
Or with her or with her father. But not yet getting the turtle school training.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that. I mean, but the Dragon Ball adventure. But even then, yeah, I think she would want to just get on to actually training, because if Genmei can be as strong as she is, then why not? She could be a fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would.
Because she's interested because she met another strong girl.
Yeah.
So she would begin her training, just not under the turtle school. And I imagine sometime during her training, Ox King would say, "Oh, why don't you test your skills at the World Martial Arts Tournament?" And Chi-Chi will show up later in this timeline.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's the Carrot Monsters town.
It's Carrot Monsters. And I don't assume anything different would happen there.
I think you're right. Nothing different would really occur. It would be straightforward, and Genmei, thanks to being, thanks to talking to Bulma, getting the idea of intimidating Oolong, like, she's gotten several examples of there's more than one way to win a fight. She would probably resort to the power pole a lot sooner against the Carrot Monster.
Yeah. What'd be funny is if after Bulma's turned to a carrot, Monster Carrot, he's holding it, and then Genmei just uses the power pole and just puts him in the stomach, making him drop the dropping the carrot Bulma.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a majority of that fight is going after the carrot.
Yeah, so I think it's like, but then boom,
would show up.
Yamcha would show up, and I think
Yamcha would show up, help out, and then disappear all the same.
And Monster Carrot and his minions would still be sent to the moon to make mochi.
I love that that's canon.
I know, it's amazing.
I love that that's... Think about this for a second. Like, I know we're breaking for the timeline here, but think about this for a second. The only mortals from Earth that survived Kid Buu destroying the planet were the Carrot Monster and his two minions because they were on Earth. They were on Moon.
Also, Mr. Satan or Mark. But
Well, yeah, they were all teleported, but I'm talking like everybody else that was left on Earth when that death ball. Anytime the Earth was destroyed, let's put it that way. Anytime that the Earth was destroyed, there were 3 people still living on the moon.
just 2 people.
There were still 3 people living on the freaking moon.
Yeah, well,
Imagine their shock when all of a sudden the planet just blows up in a flash of pink light.
but let's just continue with now
right.
we get onto the end of the Pilaf saga. Whereas
With Pilaf himself.
with Pilaf himself. Yeah, I don't think anything would change there overall.
Yeah, not a lot would change there either. Maybe Oolong, when searching Genmei, be like, oh hey, this isn't a little boy at all. It's a girl. She's,
Yeah. Well, Oolong already knew Genmei was a girl.
Well, would they have known? I mean, they
Oh, you mean talking about Pilaf, Shu, and Mai?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'd be funny as if oh god, oh shit, I'm just imagining Pilaf taking Genmei out to interrogate or something out of the
Yeah, to try to interrogate Genmei. I imagine it would backfire horribly.
Oh god, that just imagine if she gets out and goes, alright, that's it, I'm gonna take it.
Yep, and then the dogs would be released after them, and of course they're not strong enough to.
Or at least
all the guard dogs.
Genmei was drained of energy because she was using Kamehamehas constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Which yeah. Then you get to the so either way it probably would lead to the dogs being released and them being trapped.
And then my grandpa told me never to look at the full moon. So she looks at the full moon.
She looks at the full moon.
And then giant woman ape happens.
Yeah, we got a female Zara.
All I want to do is see her turn into a giant woman. Giant
Ape woman. Ape.
So that same thing would happen where her tail would get cut off.
Oh, yeah, and then she ends up getting naked.
Wait, hold on. Would Yamcha attack a girl?
I feel like he'd just chop off the tail. That was what they did to stop.
Then again, Poir cut it off by turning into a giant scissors, didn't?
Yeah. So I think.
Since it was Poir doing, I was gonna say if Yamcha's the reason the tail is gone, then would he even do it in this timeline?
Yeah, but it was Poir that Yamcha told Poir to chop it off. So, and that would lead to Genmei being naked, which I imagine she would quickly be covered up by Bulma.
Well, yeah, she would either be covered up by Bulma, or probably the same thing where she borrows Oolong's clothes.
Well, here's the thing, though. Originally, that was only the pants, and as a girl,
yeah, it can't be a shirtless girl in anime.
Yeah, I think it'd be Bulma's like, yeah, she can't go shirt. That's indecent.
Couldn't Oolong?
Like, I'm just imagining Yamcha just is forced to take off his jacket or something.
Yeah, something like that. I was also thinking like, couldn't Oolong be the one in just overalls, and then give Genmei his shirt?
True.
In that case.
And would Oolong still get the wish of the underwear, or?
Yeah, the underwear would come into play.
Oh god.
The panties would come into play, because then she'd be in panties and a t-shirt, and that's totally up Toriyama's comedic angle.
Oh god, that's so weird to think about.
Arriving on Roshi's island in just a t-shirt and panties. That's friggin' hilarious.
Well, I mean, she still went back to her home to get a new set of clothes.
Yeah.
Would have still.
Yeah.
I
All
mean,
thanks to the flying nimbus.
but it's still weird to think about. But at the same time, I mean, they are like Oolong had to give up his wished garments.
His wish garment, yeah. I imagine when they meet at the world tournament, she's like, "Oh, by the way, Oolong, here, I wanted to return these to you." All
That would be
innocent like,
hilarious.
not realizing that this is a girl giving a man panties.
Jesus. Oh god, that would be weird. That would.
By the way,
Oh.
Oolong, I borrowed this from you. I'm glad I can give it back.
Yeah, actually, it is weird, but honestly, it's. I could see that happening.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So there is that.
There is
Um.
there is that
But
image, which is a freaking cursed image.
yep. Yep. But
That's a really cursed image. Jesus.
first we have Roshi's training.
Yeah, but
Uh.
before that, obviously, or Genmei, I'm using the same, but Genmei would go back to her home and just get in a new change of clothes, yeah, like normal, and would then
Yep.
head
She
off,
would.
to Roshi's Island, where she would eventually meet Krillin. He would
Yep.
assume that
And
she's a girl. Well, a boy. He would assume that Genmei is a boy.
yeah, he would assume that Genmei is a boy until it's like, "Hi, my name's Genmei." What? That's a girl's name. I know.
I'm a girl.
So he would be surprised that the master took a girl in.
Yeah, that would completely just alter Krillin right from the get-go, thinking, wait, if Roshi, like, originally it was just those two boys together. Krillin still had this idea that girls were kind of, not much, shouldn't be martial artists.
Yeah. Yeah. He
So
still had that, and he still had the girly magazines.
yeah, and I think Krillin straight off the bat would think, oh, if Roshi chooses a female student, oh shit. That would change it. That would change his perspective just a little bit early. I think it would start changing his perspective a little earlier than normal.
Yeah. Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
They'd still. I feel like they'd still, because of how young Genmei is, they'd still go on the mission and get the fiery launch.
I don't think. I mean, he might just want to get Krillin to do it because I feel like in the original, back like he was kind of. I think in the original, I think that he would probably just want to get Krillin to go and get it because I don't think he would want to get Genmei to go along because otherwise she might tell Bulma about it and Roshi just doesn't get beaten senseless by Bulma again. But at the same time, I could still see it happening as like Krillin can't use the Nimbus and that's like the fastest way of traveling.
Right. And I mean, the only reason he was able to use the Nimbus is because he eventually came clean about the rest of the girly magazines.
Yeah. Well, even then, he had to hold on to Goku to stop him from falling through it.
Right. And I imagine it would be the same thing here.
Yeah. Just obviously,
As far as
there
Krillin
wouldn't be
going
that
off
there
on the
wouldn't be
mission.
that comedic scene where Roshi would send Genmei to go off to find a bunch of different women. That comedic scene probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, that scene wouldn't have happened because Genmei had been around Bulma this whole time, and she's very, very aware of what a woman is.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, actually,
because she is one.
that would probably mean that a launch would have been found before Krillin even showed up.
Launch would have been found before the bank robbery, train robbing.
Yeah. That means it's it's blunt head
blue hair.
launch.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Would it be blonde launch or blue launch?
Well, if it's before
Here's
the
a
bank
thought.
robbery, maybe it would be
She's-
Labu launch.
Here's a thought. She is found during the train robbery.
She's found.
Like they would. they would see a bunch of cops, you know, like
Well,
going on the
Genmei by
train.
herself would see a bunch of cops.
Yeah, Genmei. Well, Genmei and
No, Krillin, like that whole thing of Genmei finding girls before Krillin showed up, and then those two
oh,
went to get launch. So in this case, Genmei knows what a girl is, knows what what a woman is, so
mhm.
goes to launch, finds launch first, and then brings her back before Krillin even.
And also I I think you're right as far as that's concerned. But to keep Krillin in there, she would be like, "Oh, but come on, you've already got a girl, and I'm a girl too."
Well, let's
Like
just. Yeah.
she would want to see what Krillin is made of.
Well, this is before Krillin even shows up, though.
I know. I'm saying okay. She gets launch. She brings her back. Good job, kid. That is a girl. You can start your training. Krillin comes in, has the girly magazines that don't matter now.
It don't matter now.
But I feel as though because of helping the turtle, helping Chi Chi, how like Genmei has helped a lot of people so far.
Yeah.
So she would want to help Krillin as well in saying, "Well, I'm a girl," and she kind of like hold her hand out. And Krillin would kind of take her hand, kind of blush a little bit,
Oh, this is the start of Krillin's crush.
it'd be like, "I brought you a girl, Master Roshi. I think that's what she's doing here."
Yeah, so that would start Krillin's crush probably.
A little bit,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
know he does like he does like strong women. Krillin does. If we take
Sans like strong mates,
yeah. Well, I mean
which would encourage Krillin to train harder.
yeah. I know. Yeah. Actually, that brings up a thing. I kind of have different aspects of what are both female and male male Saiyans want. They want a strong-willed, very strong-willed, very feisty woman, and I think
Yep.
female Saiyans want a strong, dominant, male,
Strong, able-bodied.
strong, able-bodied, doesn't who
Yeah.
is not who doesn't cower, who doesn't who's not a
I mean, that's why Salipa was attracted to Bardock.
yeah
Uh, because Bardock was very strong for a low-ranking Saiyan.
yeah. Too bad. Yeah, Bardock
Um,
and Gine with it. Like Bardock just went.
but then, yeah, exactly. Bardock ended up choosing Kine because,
Gine, I think, yeah, has got that feisty edge to her.
yeah,
I
she's
don't.
got the feisty edge to her.
Even though Bardock
She's also
eclipses her in
warrior.
power, Bardock ain't gonna. Bardock can't do anything towards him if Gine gets annoyed.
Yep. So, in this sense, it's that budding because eventually, she's training along with Krillin. Both of them are getting strong, and she's seeing, wow, you're strong. I like hanging out with you. I don't know
Yeah, so
why I like
it's
hanging out
it's
with
that
you, but you're strong.
it's that yeah. So strong, like a very strong, able-bodied male. That's yeah. So it's slightly different depending on the genders of Saiyans. I think that's my own canon, but um,
We'll have to
yeah,
look that up. So there's all their training goes on. They hear about the World Martial Arts Tournament.
yep,
They attend representing the Turtle School.
yeah. Oh God, fucking well, I don't know. I really shouldn't have to. Right, because YouTube's a whatever. But here's the thing: Lorch would have probably gotten a dress for getting because they wore
What?
suits originally, like Roshi,
Oh yeah,
Krillin.
so Genmei would be dressed in a dress,
Yeah,
and she would just
second time she's worn one
she'd
after the.
look at herself and be like, "This is weird. I don't
Yeah,
like this."
you don't like this.
Oh my god! Oh, I just thought of a really okay. So there's a funny scene where she's like, "Here's Genmei," and she comes out in a dress, and Roshi and Krillin can't believe what they're looking at,
Yeah,
and she's like, "I don't really like it," and Launch is like, "What's wrong?" And that's when she takes off the shoes. It's like, "It's these shoes," and she snaps the heel off of the shoes. She doesn't like high heels. And then she just feel the shoes after that and be like, "Hey, that's a lot better. Why wasn't I wearing these shoes?"
That's perfect. Everyone, and that comedic fall everyone does every time something,
Yeah.
just like,
That's the point of high heels, Genmei! You're supposed to wear them with the heels! But I can't fight in shoes like that.
yeah, it's really funny, like, because of how a female Goku would still be, it would still be a similar.
Yeah!
It's just the social aspect in that world. Interactions with people would be different, but she would still have that same mentality she's always had, no matter what the gender is.
Yep. So,
That brings up a good point. What would Launch and Genmei's relationship be? Because especially Blonde Launch. Because
I imagine Blonde Launch would actually be kind of friendly.
yeah,
I imagine Blonde Launch would offer that sort of, like, because Bulma was never really a tough sister-like figure.
yeah,
But Blonde Launch, I imagine, "You stick with me, kid. I'll show you the ropes and how to deal with these bums."
yeah.
Yeah.
So that would actually, yeah. So Genmei would be the only one to actually be able to, settle Blonde Launch down.
Yeah, she would get in the way and be like, "Well, they've never done something like that to me."
Yeah.
There would be some common ground there as far as Blonde. That's cool. That's cool to think about. There would be some common ground there. It's not just Blonde Launch surrounded by guys.
Yeah.
There's one other girl on the island.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
and
a 3-2 split. I mean, you still have to count Turtle, of course, but
Turtle's a turtle. He's not
the Turtle's a turtle.
He's only I imagine Turtle's only interested in female turtles.
Yeah. What if Turtle was female?
Oh.
But to the World Martial Arts Tournament.
Yeah.
Where Yamcha is kind of giggling at the fact that Genmei is in a dress.
Yeah, I don't know if Bulma would be kind of like, oh, or look at all.
I imagine Bulma would also look at her shoes and be like, "Oh wow, those are slip-ons? Well, actually, they were heels, but I got rid of the heels. They're not comfortable."
Oh.
But I imagine instead of doing like the falling over thing, Bulma would just sigh like, "Of course you did."
Of course you did. And then we get to the scene where, like, Genmei hands the underwear back to Oolong.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's where they do the fall.
Yamcha would be in the loop, but the only other person that would not be in the loop other than Roshi would be Launch. Like, the fuck is she handing him?
Well, Launch wouldn't be there. She wasn't at the first tournament.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like,
oh,
neither of them were there for the panty wish.
Yeah, I know, but
Neither
Launch wasn't at the tournament. Launch wasn't at the tournament unless.
Oh. Yeah, she came during the second one to see Tian Shin, huh?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you're right about that. So either way, Roshi would be Why are you giving this pig panties? What? Wait, you had these panties on you this whole time?
And Oolong just yoinks them like and puts it away like.
Finders keepers, old man. Give them to me. No, I wished for these with the Dragon Balls. They're mine.
That's actually hilarious. Yeah, they're mine.
Two older men fighting over women's panties. That's totally it.
Oh. That is. Yeah, and I think Bulma would probably take Genmei like back to the back and like, yeah, that's probably you shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right.
That's actually pretty funny.
That's funny. That's funny. That people would be talking about that scene for years. For
Yeah.
years to come. Uh, um, so they would get their uniforms.
Yep, the
She would
same
be very
one.
happy to
Get
be in fighting shoes as
yeah.
opposed to the shoes she was wearing.
Yep. So Genmei would still have the same gi, and this is where she'll meet Chi-Chi again. Yeah, because
Chi-Chi would show up for this tournament.
yeah, which
That means somebody needs to be put on the back burner.
I mean, it could be Ran fan.
Yeah, I was thinking Ran fan, but I was also thinking about Pamput as well.
Pamput's not in this.
Oh, is it? Is
That's
he in
that's the 22nd. There's
That's
Bacterian.
the 21st was
There's Bacterian that we could just
Nam
would kind of keep because obviously
Ran fan,
Ran fan.
Krillin, Yamcha, Genmei,
Yeah. So
Roshi as Chun.
Jackie Chun.
Who's the 8th one?
So there's 8 there. We need to get rid of one of the expendables. The Bacterian,
Krillin.
Ran fan, or Giran.
Oh yeah, Giran. That's right. Well, I wouldn't get rid of Giran personally.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get back. It's either Bacterian or Ran fan.
I would say, well, if it was Bacterian, right? Then you would have an entertaining fight with Krillin versus Chi-Chi. And that might develop later on in the series. If it was Ranfan, then you've got Nam versus Chi-Chi.
Yeah.
And Chi-Chi would have to lose.
Which
that begs the question, like, I imagine Nam is.
You could always beat Nam versus Krillin.
It could be Nam versus Krillin, in which case Chi-Chi would go up against
Genmei.
either Ranfan or Bacterian. If it's Bacterian, Chi-Chi's done. The only thing that kept Krillin in the fight, as far as Bacterian was concerned, was the fact that he didn't have a nose.
Yeah.
That's literally the only thing. So the fact that Chi-Chi has a nose, sorry, she ain't gonna win against Bacterian.
Yeah.
But if it was Chi-Chi versus Nam, the question would come in, how good is Ox King's training?
Depends. He was a turtle student beforehand, so
He was a turtle student, yes, and also Chi-Chi being able to throw herself at this massive hunk of man again and again for like strength training, endurance, stuff like that.
yeah.
If they were to spar, I mean, Chi-Chi would get some gains here. I don't know if it would be enough to topple Nam.
I do like the idea of Chi-Chi and Genmei fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that idea.
But would she get that far? That's the big question. If she fought Ranfan, right? Let's say it was Chi-Chi versus Ranfan, and we got rid of Bacterian, meaning Nam versus Krillin.
Yeah.
Then I could see Chi-Chi beat Ranfan.
Hands
down.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I need to just quickly. How do I stop the record? How do I just sort of pause the recording again?
If there should be a pause button on the right side of the recording button. Okay,
well, you get to entertain the troops while I'm away.
Oh yay, that's fun. I meant. Alrighty. So, what's going on, everybody? This is the impromptu part of the stream, where I tell y'all to please hit the subscribe button, share it out on your various social medias, and also be sure to smash. Wait, I said smash the like button. Did I smash the like? Did I say? I hit the subscribe button. Okay, take two. Bleh. No, this is totally. I did not have a take two. We'll lie to ship on that one. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm happy to hold on to everything. Nothing was messed up at all. But hey, I think you should hit the subscribe button and be be out there for more future content as far as maps, as far as new what if scenarios to discuss, as well as liking this episode because the YouTube algorithm likes it when you smash the like button. Also, be sure to leave a comment below as far as what your favorite scene of all of this was. Because let me tell you, we've gone through a lot of good ones. Oh man, Genmei with the panties is probably that one's probably going down as my favorite. Also, Ox King training Chi-Chi. Woohoo! So I imagine let's continue on while he's away. Ox King training Chi-Chi would be a wonderful training regimen. The only thing is, Chi-Chi was used to using that helmet with the laser, and so I imagine she wouldn't be able to use
Yo,
that
I'm back!
Whoa, he's back. Okay, cool. I totally didn't mess up the show. Anyway, let's
What
go.
did you do? What did you talk
I
about?
I was talking about Ox King's training and how she would more than likely be able to beat Ranfan because Ranfan's whole gimmick was
Yeah.
embarrassing a guy, and now you have two other girls fighting in this tournament.
Yeah, I imagine that she couldn't use
Ranfan's not
that.
getting past round one.
Yeah, I do prefer that, and Krillin getting beaten by Nam, which is all a part of Roshi's plan, because he wants his students to know that they can be beaten.
To fight. Would Nam move on to fight? Who did Yamcha fight?
Yamcha fought Roshi.
Right, he lost.
Jackie Chun. Yeah,
Yep.
So yeah, and then Matt means Nam versus Roshi or Jackie Chun. That would be an interesting fight to see.
Ooh. So, okay. Yeah, that is an interesting fight. Nam versus Jackie Chun. And then he would still tell Nam, "Hey, can you do me a favor?"
Yeah, because I still imagine that Roshi would win that.
Yes, Roshi would totally win that. He would not lose to Nam.
But he would still do the favor for him.
Chi-Chi versus Genmei, though.
Yeah, so obviously Genmei would have won against and would have regrown her tail.
Yeah, but I imagine like it would be something similar to like when she ended up taking a huge hit and being like, "Hey, my tail's back! Wow!" It would be from Chi-Chi, not from Giran. Like Chi-Chi's strength after training with.
Well, I mean, in Giran's, in the fight between Giran and Genmei, the merry-go-round gum that Giran used, the tail regrew, which meant she managed to break free of that bondage, and Giran after that point just surrendered.
Yeah.
He just surrendered because it's like, yeah, I'm not fighting that. That is nope.
So let me paint the scenario for you a little bit as far as I see that battle going. Like I would argue that she doesn't get her tail back because I would write it, and I'm thinking about how Toriyama writes some women, especially how he writes grown-up Chi-Chi always being angry all the time.
Yeah.
As we know from Gohan, Saiyans get rage bursts. So I imagine Giran would keep saying, "You're not gonna get out of that merry-go-round," instead of torturing her physically, just torturing her verbally, pissing her off a little more, until finally there's a rage boost that happens, not the tail growing back. And that's what breaks the merry-go-round gum, and instead of surrendering on the spot, Genmei's still angry, and he gets knocked out of the ring and ends up face-planting into the bricks right in front of the the crowd. Then it goes to...
Oh yeah, Giran would have felt probably a lot more embarrassed considering he got beaten by a girl.
He legitimately got beaten. He didn't give up as far as fighting a girl. He got legitimately beaten. He wouldn't have given up fighting a little girl.
Yeah, true. But even then, I still think some of his people back at his own
Yeah,
village
still,
would
yeah. I
still
mean, he was having that trouble anyway.
they would still they would still heckle him once he got back for
Yep,
being beaten by a little girl.
yep. So her tail isn't back.
Yeah.
Then she fights Chi-Chi. Now, Chi-Chi, being trained by the Ox King, probably has a lot more strength at first than Genmei is used to. So it's a pretty even fight. After one good hit, though, like on her chest, where Chi-Chi thinks that that's it, she's not getting back up. The count is like at 8 when Genmei stands up, and she doesn't realize why she has a lot of energy. And then she looks behind her, and she's really happy because her tail grew back. And
Yeah.
Chi-Chi's like, oh, I forgot she had one of those.
Yeah.
So,
Obviously,
so
though.
I would change the story a bit and say that Giran would have instead taunted the living heck out of this little girl, and it would have bit him in the ass.
Yeah, it would have bit him in the ass. It's kind of like how
And thanks
Frieza.
to
It's sort of like
Chi-Chi's
Frieza and
training,
any villain in Dragon Ball. You piss off the hero, you're gonna get fucked.
and, and so to show off Chi-Chi's growth, being like she's training because hey, this is a strong girl. I want to be a strong girl. To show that, she would put up a really good fight against Genmei.
Yeah.
But then Genmei would have the MacGuffin of
MacGuffin.
growing the tail back
And the
and,
protagonist
and
powers.
end up winning.
Yeah.
And she
Which
would end up winning.
which would lead, yeah. Which honestly, a good fight there. Would also be probably thought about for ages, like the fight between Chi-Chi, and that fight
Yeah,
was interesting during the.
that would go down in history as one of the good Dragon Ball fights. That would be on par with like grown-up Goku versus Tien
Yeah.
in the 23rd World Martial Arts
Yeah,
Tournament.
and all by this time as well, Krillin's been looking at this fight going, "Wow, Kenmei's very, very strong. Ooh, they're getting
And I
very
imagine he would also note Chi-Chi's strength
Hmm,
because
true."
I mean, through a small regimen with the Ox King, whatever that regimen was,
Oh,
she didn't
I
have to
almost forgot
carry
about
milk.
this. I almost
She didn't have
forgot
to.
about this. Chi-Chi meeting Yamcha again.
Oh, Yamcha would be like, "Oh, it's her.
Yeah, and Chi-Chi be like, "Oh, yeah."
It's you. I hope we get a match together."
And Bulma would probably be like, "I'm sorry, what is this?" Because those two
Is
would have
this
still
girl
been in a
bothering
relationship.
you, Yamcha? I've never met her in my life. I swear.
Which would probably very much like make Chi-Chi kind of depressed by that.
I imagine she would be more angry than
Yeah,
depressed. Like,
true.
what?
She'd be more angry if she actually
You've
fought
been with
Yamcha in the
Daryl all this
tournament. If
minute?
she
And it
managed to
would
fight Yamcha in the tournament.
yeah, it would be a playful feud between Bulma and Chi-Chi
Yeah.
for Yamcha in the position that he never wanted to be in ever.
Yeah. Too bad in this timeline Goku was Genmei and
Yeah.
that Chi-Chi's sessions never got transferred to.
Right.
Yeah, that's one aspect. Like, it's less of the story changing too much, and it's more character interactions a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and I still think Genmei would have lost to Roshi in the finals.
Well, yeah, that's just setting up the hook, but would the battle last long enough to involve the full moon?
I'm not sure.
Because I imagine yes or no, and this is why I say yes or no. Yes, if they wait for the next day, like sometime in the afternoon, to start their fight. No, if Genmei has to fight Jackie Chun right after Chi-Chi. Because if it was right after Chi, like an hour's rest at most, then okay, she would have been able to recover, maybe a little Zenkai from how much Chi-Chi is able to do, but she wouldn't last very long given Chun's power level at that point.
Mm. Rich. Well, I mean, I feel like it would still be like not the same as before. I don't really see a reason why it would change. I,
As far as the time of day is what I'm getting at, because if
you know,
I
I
get
guess
it,
it all depends on how long the fights for Chi-Chi and Genmei fight was.
right.
If it was short, then there could have been that time where there would be no full moon. But if it was long enough, it might have been by the time Roshi and Genmei fight, it could have already started to drop the sort of sunset already.
Yeah.
Or what would be interesting is if it's already near night, like the sun's basically already down nearly.
Yeah, if the battle, okay, so the scenario as far as Genmei versus Chi-Chi, right?
Yeah.
They beat it till they fight until about 4:30. Let's say 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yep.
And then the announcer would be like, "We will reconvene for the final match tomorrow." And they would avoid the Great Ape altogether.
Though this would give the Red
Because
Ribbon Army an extra day to.
right, the Red Ribbon Army would get an extra day if the Great Ape is eschewed. If it goes right into the fight with Jackie Chan, then the timeline stays right.
Because also, I imagine that Ox King is in the audience watching Chi Chi fight. Was
Of
watching.
course,
Yeah.
Oxking's definitely in the audience.
Yeah. He would be taking up a large portion of space.
I just thought of this. He would be the only one that's aware of Jackie Chan.
Yeah. He would be
Because
the
he
only one
knows
aware.
his master.
And plus, I think Roshi might have just told Ox King.
Well, yeah. Okay, one of two ways. One, he probably would have told Ox King, and Ox King would have been like, "Yeah, I understand. I won't say anything, master." Or two, he's just keeping silent to himself, kind of like Oolong in the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament when he knew who Chi-Chi was, but everyone else was clueless. He just
Oolong
had a
knew
grin
who
on his
Chi Chi
head.
was.
So I imagine Ox King in the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament would be the same thing. He would just have his arms crossed, like in his head. My master really hasn't stopped. He's still as strong as the day I remember leaving that island. You know,
Yeah, I guess.
he's just smiling about it because he knows who it is.
Yeah.
But he's going to play along with his master and be like, "Wow, Jackie Chan is really," he'll
Yeah.
use the name Jackie Chan.
Yeah. So, though going back to the fight, I still think if the fight between Chi Chi and Genmei ends at like 4 o'clock, there's still like an hour to 5, and then there's that's still daytime, at least.
Yeah, I mean the daytime. If you remember the scene where the full moon was out, the sun was still out.
Hmm.
It was about at sunset, and the moon was right there. So it's like we have to play a little bit as far as the time is concerned, because yes, the moon was out, but the sun was still out too. It was sunset.
Yeah.
So the match would have to end at about 4:30 ish, and then Bulma would kind of go to Genmei. I imagine Bulma would be prepared about it. She'd be like, "Hey, Genmei, here, I made I brought this bandana for you to wear over your eyes until we get to the hotel room." And of course, she'd be like, "Why?" And then that's when Bulma would say, "Well, according to my calendar, tonight is going to be a full moon, and we don't need you turning into a giant monkey in the middle of the night."
Well, it's the
on an
thing
island."
though. That's the thing though. Bulma didn't want to tell Goku originally about because to them it was like, oh, that was Bulma didn't want to feel.
So you think Bulma would lie about it and be like, "Oh, well, because you need your rest for the match tomorrow. Jackie Chan's a tough customer."
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, because I think it was a case
Yamcha
of.
would back her up. And
I
be
don't
like,
think. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if I lost to him, you're talking about someone really powerful. Heck, Even Master Roshi would have trouble with him, I imagine.
Yeah. So yeah,
But
because I think it was a case of them not wanting to reveal that it was Goku that killed
yep,
Grandpa.
yep. And I would
So
assume that the tournament would still go as planned. Here's where the big issue happens. Since the like you said, the Red Ribbon Army gets another day. The Pilaf gang is captured. Period. There's no Goku to rescue that Dragon Ball from the Red Ribbon Army.
yeah, well, here's the thing. I think that was that pterodactyl had the Dragon Ball inside of itself. So that Dragon Ball likely would have been hunted down. That pterodactyl would have been killed, and the Dragon Ball retrieved.
Yeah,
So it's
the
very
Red Ribbon Army
likely that
would
the
have
Red
it.
Ribbon Army has an extra Dragon Ball going in to the saga.
Yep, that would be the case, and I would see this. I don't want to go fanficky with it because I've told you what
Fanfic.
my analogy is. Is you wouldn't say that bacon is poultry. Bacon is a meat. Poultry is meat, but you wouldn't call bacon poultry.
Yeah, yeah.
The same thing with a what if. Oh, a what if is fan fiction, but you wouldn't call a fan fiction necessarily a what if.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is where the fan fictiony side of me would occur because now, like a lot of tropes in anime and a lot of tropes in like comic book stuff, there's a baddie bigger than the baddie that the heroes already fought. Pilaf would go to Genmei and tell Genmei someone took our Dragon Ball. And
Oh,
Pilaf would operate midways. Not a fully good guy, but instead of crashing because an android was flying the plane to Jingle Village, Pilaf's gang would be like, yeah, we'll get you to that Dragon Ball, won't we? Shu, Mai? Oh, yes, sir.
so it's a case that I know they weren't kidnapped originally. Like they handed the Dragon Ball over because they had no other choice.
Right, and since a bigger threat than Pilaf, how is Pilaf supposed to rule the world if the Red Ribbon Army gets their wish?
True. Yeah, they don't know
How are we
about.
supposed to rule the world if the Red Ribbon Army's already going to wish for it? Sir, I know that this is a drastic measure, but we do know someone that can take on the Red Ribbon Army. Who are you talking about, Mai? I think she's talking about that girl that turned into the giant monkey from before. Oh my, are we really that desperate?
Yes.
We are talking about the entirety of the Red Ribbon Army, sir. This may be too much for only us to handle. If we can assist someone stronger, then we should.
Oh god. So we get a team up
Very well.
between Genmei and the Pilaf gang.
Yeah, and it's not like it's gonna be hard for the Pilaf gang to find Genmei. Just look for a Dragon Ball that's traveling quickly.
Yeah. Plus, originally, like Genmei would have still wanted to go out and search for her 4-star ball. So the same thing would apply here, with her heading off to find the Dragon Ball with this, Dragon
I think
Raider.
it would be funny, like they're flying around tracking Dragon Balls. Like instead of, hey, Genmei got the first Dragon Ball in an episode, and then started traveling with it, whereas the Pilaf gang is traveling, and then all of a sudden they see Genmei flying on the Nimbus and starts tailing her like, there she is! After her, you fools!
And then Genmei just I don't know, destroys the plane that they were cause
Yeah, and she would approach them like with power pole out, be like, "What are you bullies doing? Hold on, we surrender. We want to talk to you."
oh,
So they would explain the situation about the Red Ribbon Army. Genmei would get that information.
earlier,
Here's a
because
question.
originally, Genmei didn't even know
Yeah,
about the Red Ribbon Army until it was like,
like she was just going after Dragon Ball. Like, Goku was just going after Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
He didn't care about what this Red Ribbon Army was, but the Red Ribbon Army were collecting Dragon Balls, so gotta fight them. Here's a thought though. After the intense battle between Chi-Chi and Genmei, would Chi-Chi join Genmei on this quest?
Oh, I do like that idea. Because I
Because
mean,
I imagine she would.
yeah. Plus, they can use the both of them can use the Nimbus. So
And Krillin would return to Roshi's
with
with
Yamcha,
Yamcha.
Yamcha would also go to Roshi's to train.
Yeah. Especially after seeing, after knowing the Ox King was trained by the Turtle School.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine Chi-Chi would have been in a Turtle School gi made by the Ox King.
Yeah, with
Only
the Ox King like
symbol on the
symbol.
back.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
Ox. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, he would put the pieces together and go to Roshi's earlier to train.
Well, he was going there anyway, so I guess now he just has a.
Well, he wasn't there for the pirate.
True,
ship
he
part.
wasn't. So he would be there for the pirate, but now we
Yeah.
get. So we just skip the whole Silver versus Goku thing, and we just skip all the way to Jingle
I
Village.
imagine, yeah, I imagine Silver. I imagine Silver would be called to Muscle Tower. And this is why I wanted to ask about Chi-Chi joining. Because not only do we have Chi-Chi as well, but we also have the Pilaf gang, which, let's be honest, they probably have more capsules than that. They probably have a whole other airship.
Yeah.
So they're able to get to Jingle Village and not allow Genmei to freeze.
Yeah.
So they're able to get there, and Muscle Tower is a thing.
Muscle Tower, and with now two.
I
With,
imagine
I imagine the
Muscle
Pilaf gang
Tower
would.
starts-
I imagine the Pilaf gang would go in, but would stay back and let the fighters.
Yeah, let the strong fighters handle it. But as soon as Muscle Tower really starts getting hammered by not only Genmei but Chi-Chi as well, after meeting Suno and her mother, you know, that little tidbit still gonna
Well,
happen.
I imagine they end up going to the village just as a pit stop.
Yeah, they end up going to the village. They get the lowdown about the Red Ribbon Army, and you know that's where Pilaf is like, "I told you, they're trying to take over the world."
And then I just imagine Goku's like, weren't you trying to take over the world?
This is different. I don't want them taking over the world. I want to take over the world.
It's just, it was like, you know, I would like should probably, you know, I'd have to stop you at that point, wouldn't I?
Okay, but you're gonna have to take the 4-star Dragon Ball from me, so you can't make your wish. Nah.
So honestly, that'd be interesting if the Pilaf gang just become good, you know,
they become good guys because they can't beat Genmei,
and okay.
but they're fighting the Red Ribbon Army currently.
Yeah,
You
that
know?
does. I have definitely seen that in stuff, just where sort of like the smaller threat just goes, all right, you know what? Screw it. I was screwed over by the good guys. I'm just gonna join the good guys because they seem to be the.
And it would be a gradual change because keep in mind, Muscle Tower at this point is the first Dragon Ball on the trip.
And obviously they'd meet Ada.
Yep.
They'd meet Ada, and yeah, his whole attitude would, you know, he'd join the group.
Right. So as soon as Muscle Tower is being assailed by these fighters, I imagine General White, right? That's who.
Yeah, he was General White.
Calling backup, and it would be a 2-on-2 fight at the end of all this.
Oh.
With General White and Colonel Silver versus Chi-Chi and Genmei.
Yeah. So yeah, it'd just be like that would probably be the end of the because I imagine the Muscle Tower thing would go pretty much similar because they're going to. They also have the deal with the fact that their the Jingle Village's mayor was kidnapped just to keep Jingle Village in line.
Right.
So.
Here's also kind of a. I thought of this in the middle of explaining it because Pilaf gang's there.
Yeah.
They're not going into Muscle Tower. They're not meeting Ader. So when Ader gets out of Muscle Tower, Pilaf is, you know, doing a speech to Shu and Mai and being like, "This will be the beginning of a new castle, a new rise to the Pilaf Empire, beginning with this tower."
And then Ada just destroys it.
Ader destroys the tower.
After
Like
everything.
while he's saying the speech, Mai and Shu look inspired, and then they look over their boss's head and realize what Ader's doing.
Sir, you look behind you.
Do not interrupt me while I am speeching. But sir, you might want to take a look at your tower. What about my tower? What are you doing? No!
Oh god, I'm having the peel off gang just as like side, as part of like Genmei's little, the peel off gang would definitely be that comic relief for that saga. It would just be this.
That would be the case. There'd be amazing comic relief on that one. So they wouldn't have to stop at Roshi.
Honestly, they'd probably become like the what was in Pokemon, the red what was the Team Rocket.
Right.
They'd become like that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, similar. At first, they would still turn over the leaf.
Yeah. It basically, they would get that sort of notoriety in the community as like, oh yeah, these are just fun characters.
Right. So they would end up doing all of that stuff as far as the Red Ribbon Army. Then we go to the Pirate Cove.
Well, West City first was the, but obviously,
West City
Ada would
fix
like.
the Dragon Radar.
So obviously, I imagine General White and Colonel Silver would still both be defeated pretty quickly.
They would.
Yeah.
Then they would go to West City to fix the Dragon Radar.
And Bulma would then go, well, what are these three doing?
Yeah, what are they doing here? Listen, Missy, we're on a bigger mission than just world domination. The Red Ribbon Army has decided to get in our way, so this is a temporary truce.
Yeah, and Bulma knows exactly what the Red Ribbon Army is, and is just kind of shocked that Genmei would be going after the Red Ribbon Army.
Mm-hmm.
That's
still going along with it because she needs adventure.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think originally, Bulma didn't know that Goku was going after the Red Ribbon Army until after the Pirate Cove.
So then after she hears about Pilaf from Pilaf.
Yeah, and she's going, what? You're going after the Red Ribbon Army?
You've gotten yourself way in over your head on this one, Genmei.
I know you're strong, but you can't just take on an entire army.
I imagine Bulma, because like they've got that sort of sisterhood. She'd be like, "All right, but tell you what, I'll repair the Dragon Radar and help you all out as far as that's concerned. But you're gonna need help with this. I know where Yamcha is," and she'd be like, "Oh, Yamcha? Yeah, Yamcha's help would be really great. Where is he? He's actually on Roshi's Island training."
It'd be the big island. It'd be the big island that Roshi took.
Yeah, the big island. Yeah, so they're doing the chores. So when Pilaf's gang gets everybody there on whatever flying machine.
Also, what about the Dreamland sort of bit of that filler? Because I know Husky was it was a thing in the, I think it was filler.
I don't remember that.
But it was like they're going to a theme park. But without Yamcha being there, it probably would end with just pretty anticlimactic, as Husky would just be beaten, which was was hired by the Red Ribbon Army to get the Dragon Ball. Which in this case,
that one, yes, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, in this case, it would just be the single Dragon Ball that they acquired from Ada.
Well, they also have another. They also have another couple of hands in the form of Chi-Chi. So
yeah.
So she'd be stopped.
Plus, I think Husky was kind of, pretty much using her femininity to kind of make Yamcha just sort of goof off. In this case, there is nothing like that here.
Yeah, but in this timeline, because of Chi-Chi's influence and also being a Turtle School student, Yamcha is on the island.
Yeah.
She's not even there. So thanks to Chi-Chi being there, they're able to stop Husky.
Yeah.
And and secure the Dragon Ball. Also, with the help
Oh god,
of
imagine I'm
Kai
just
and Shu, because
imagining
they're capable
Husky
hands.
trying it on Pilaf or Shu. And it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
yeah. But
I imagine Shu or Pilaf, but Mai is there, and she's good at keeping those two in line
yeah,
in a
she is good at
way.
those. But I'm just imagining like Husky trying it with Shu and just like, I like other dog. You're okay, but like
You're okay, but I like. Oh, jeez, that's more.
I
You're
like
okay, but I like, other beastmen. In
other.
fact, I met this cat the other day, and we're really going steady. uh, so, yeah, so I imagine with the added hands, like minus Yamcha, but plus Pilaf, Shu, and Mai all together,
Yeah, and
Husky would
Chi.
be stopped.
Yeah.
And Chi Chi.
Yep.
Husky would be stopped, and Bulma would not be as angry with Yamcha,
Oh yeah, because Yamcha wouldn't
because
be.
Yamcha's not there, and she understands, especially now that she knows that Genmei is fighting the Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah, she's not gonna go with
Right.
Gen in this case because she's like, no, I'm not. I'll help you, but I'm not gonna get involved with the.
Mm-hmm. So, they go to Roshi's Island,
Yeah,
the training island, of
the
course,
training
and
island.
of course this flying machine just falls down. It comes down and lands, and nobody knows what's going on, but they're all on edge. And then they see Genmei walk out. It's like, hi guys.
And then Chi Chi does, and then the Pilaf get.
And then, well, no, and then Chi Chi does, and then Chi Chi locks eyes with Yamcha and goes after.
I don't think she would go after Yamcha. I think she would give him a stink eye.
Well, oh yeah, you're right. Like, so you're still. We talked to Bulma. How's she doing? She's fine.
She's fine.
You know?
Yeah.
So they would end up recruiting Yamcha and Krillin for this underwater mission.
Yeah, which means we've got like an extra like bunch of people.
Yeah, and for the sake of argument, let's say of all of Pilaf's vehicles, he doesn't have a submarine.
He doesn't have a submarine.
So
Yeah.
they would still use the sub that Roshi has. It's a bit cramped,
It is. It would
admittedly,
be.
but they still have that.
Yeah.
And
I imagine that Chi Chi and Yamcha were like planted right next to each other in the vehicle.
yeah, and fighting the pirate robot. As far as the cannon is concerned, I think we would still have Krillin on the cannon, but Mai is operating the cannon.
Oh.
Like Mai is sitting in the seat, telling Pilaf and Shu like distract him. Oh no, you know what? Pilaf just sent Shu and Mai. Pilaf is staying on the beach.
Yeah, he's just gonna get a tan.
He's just staying on the beach. I have minions to do my dirty work.
He's just gonna get a tan or something.
Yeah, he's gonna chill with Roshi.
And then later, when we get back to the island, if we get later back to the island, he's gone from like a light blue color to like a vibrant, dark blue.
Yeah.
He's just got
But also with the new look. Let's say like he keeps the dark blue look from here on out.
Oh god.
Because he's staying with Roshi, this is where the transformation from bad guy to good guy could really start. Because Roshi, yes, he's a pervert, but he's a very knowledgeable master. So I imagine one of the conversations he would have in the fillers, tell me something. Why do you want to rule the world? What? What kind of stupid question is that? Well, it doesn't seem like a very useful resource. Why not enjoy what the world has to offer instead of having your poop down upon it? Well,
and it just goes on, and then you have to deal with it. Then you have to deal with the military administration.
Yeah, Roshi would talk him out of it.
It's like He
And
goes
when they
over the
get back, I mean,
basics of like how a government needs to be run, and he like you need.
yeah, yeah, and when they got back, Maya and Shu are super confused when he says, "You know what? I'm not very interested in ruling the world, as it
It's
were.
too much work. It's too
It's
much
too much
work.
work. Maybe something smaller, like
Like
running
an
my own business or something."
like an island. Maybe I should rule an island.
Rule an island. Yeah, exactly. He lowers his goals. I'll rule it. Oh, I know. I'll open my own island resort. Yes, they'll all come to me and spend their money. Excellent. You know,
That is
it's more
actually
the
perfect.
yeah. So Roshi would talk Pilaf out of it,
Yeah.
and Mai and Shu after the pirate thing would be friggin' confused as to what happened.
Yeah, but I think during in the cave,
Mhm.
similar events would occur, but I guess the traps would be less because Maya's there. She's intelligent enough to know that what to not do and what not to do.
Yep.
So they get through that pretty quickly, pretty easily.
Yep, as far as the pirate robot, which was, let's be honest, handing everybody's butt on a platter.
Yeah, I think with 3 fighters there or 4 fighters there, he would be
Four
defeated
fighters.
earlier.
Yep, and maybe Shu's sword comes into play.
Yeah, he just slashes.
'Cause, I mean,
He just slashes the brain of it or something, or like the head.
yeah, because Bulma's gun wasn't doing anything. Sure, it was good for blowing up the gas truck, but I don't think Mai's gun would have done much of anything either.
Yeah.
So the cannon plus the gas truck, this thing is damaged, but not done.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to actually taking it out, they do have Yamcha, they do have Krillin, they do have Genmei, and they do have Chi-Chi.
Would be funny is
Four
if we
very
is if we
capable
get
fighters.
this if Chi-Chi isn't able to do a Kamehameha for the first time.
Yeah, Chi-Chi would remember that Genmei did that and be like, "I'm gonna try."
And she does the same.
do
She
it
does a similar size one that Genmei did
that
originally.
Genmei originally did.
Yeah.
And Genmei would remember that, like, "Oh wow, you got strong.
Yeah.
Where'd you learn that?" And she'd be like, "Oh, well, Daddy taught me."
Yeah. I do imagine the Ox King knows the Kamehameha. He just never uses
Yeah,
it.
he must. He
I
must
mean,
know the technique.
Gohan does know the technique, so.
I know Gohan knows the technique. I imagine he knows. I imagine Ox King knows the technique, but just has never been able to pull it off himself.
Yeah, that seems accurate.
Mm-hmm.
But
So, eventually, they are able to beat the
this probably does make
robot.
this does probably make Krillin and Yamcha really think, wow, we really need to learn the Kamehameha.
Yep. And given that Mai is the calm head of this crew, they would go to they would all go together to the split up, you know, where Blue followed him,
Yeah.
and because the pirate robot's dealt with, it's not coming out of flames anymore. And they would say, okay, one of these ways is a trap, one of these ways is even. I imagine Mai would be like, all right, here's how we're gonna split up. Shu, you take Genmei and Krillin down that way. Yamcha, you and Chi-Chi are with me. We're gonna go down this way.
Ah.
So they would split up, and while Genmei, Krillin, and Shu are taking care of the big calamari monster.
Oh, right. That was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yamcha.
So who'd be fighting that one? Genmei.
Genmei and Krillin.
Oh god, I imagine that Genmei would have a little snack afterwards.
Yeah, and here's the thing. At first it would be Genmei and Krillin, but let's say the calamari gets a hold of one of them. That's when Shu would come out of nowhere, a la Yajirobe.
And it's like,
and
I'm
cut
going,
off
I'm
one
awesome!
Yeah. Yeah. So Shu would do something in that fight, just not a lot.
Yeah.
Krillin and Genmei would just be able to handle it. And this is where, much like with Chi-Chi's small Kamehameha, Krillin's like, you know what? If those girls can do it, I can do it too. And he does the little Kamehameha. It doesn't do as much. But then Genmei, if you really want to go the direction of Krillin and Genmei possibly getting together in the future,
Yeah.
She'd be like, wait, let's do that again together. And they both generate a big Kamehameha that ends up cooking the calamari.
Ah, and then they just, and then like once they meet up again, it's like just get me snacking on like a bit of.
A bit left over. Yep. So, and also, I imagine so that the breathing thing isn't a big deal. Mai would have rebreathers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would be a thing that occurs. And meanwhile, down the other path, General Blue has caught up with Yamcha and Chi-Chi and Mai. General Blue is able to paralyze two of the members, forcing a one-on-one with the other one. And of course,
Yamcha.
the
I
two
imagine it'd
members
be
that are
Yamcha fighting.
one would probably be Yamcha.
Oh God, I know that General Blue is gay, isn't he? He's very obviously gay. So
Yeah, he's very effeminate. So Yamcha would be frozen, and Mai would be frozen as well.
no, I'm saying that Blue would have like a was it? Because I know, yeah, originally Bob would try to use her feminine wiles on Blue, but this time Yamcha uses his masculine wiles.
This time.
Yamcha uses his masculine wiles on Blue.
So are you saying that the two women are frozen and it has to be Blue versus Yamcha?
It could be.
I mean, regardless, Blue is still interested in the treasure.
Yeah.
Figuring all that out.
True.
Mai would be the brains in this, but she's still a fighter. And Yamcha would make sure that he doesn't look Blue in the eyes.
Yeah.
Because he sees what happened to Chi-Chi and Mai. So, thing is, at this point, I would imagine Yamcha would still be beaten by Blue.
Yeah. Because he'd probably have to close his eyes.
I mean,
Yamcha would probably have to close his eyes to...
Yeah. To try. And, to pull a Masako. That is until Genmei shows up.
And just decks him in the face.
Yeah, just wipes the floor with him because...
Yeah,
she's
Krillin...
full from nice big calamari meal.
She's full. It's like, I'm full from...
I ate a giant squid!
Now I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm just imagining Blue going, you did what? And then he just gets dead.
Yep.
I'm sorry, what?
And thanks to Blue being completely outnumbered, Mai carries the unconscious Blue over her shoulder. The whole cavern blowing up scene is not happening.
Oh, why not?
Well, because the pirate robot was dealt with before the failsafe that the pirates put there, exploding the damn cavern, was activated.
Okay.
So the cavern survives this whole thing.
Plus, they get all the treasure.
Yeah, they're able to recover the treasure. And you know what the best part about this is? No launch to steal the fucking treasure.
Well,
Mai is just gonna set it up with a dino cap.
Oh, shit, yeah, that's true. Pilaf's gonna use that to make his resort.
Yeah, and there's the confusion for Mai and Shu. Mai and Shu would be like, we got you something while we were down there, sir. Freaking golden chest of treasure. This should be more than enough money to fuel your armies to take over the world. I'm not actually interested in taking over the world anymore. However, this is a good down payment on an island resort. What do you two say?
Don't want to say.
What, boss? You're serious. Why not? I mean, taking over the world is a lot of bother, and it's only just us three.
It also means that, as well, there is no Penguin Village bit.
There isn't. There is no Aurelie. There's no gag manga village.
Yep, none of that. There's none of that. That's
none of that filler actually exists.
Yeah.
Instead, it's the captured General Blue being like, "What are you going to do with me?"
What would they do to him?
I imagine they would find out where the rest of the Red Ribbon Army is.
Yeah,
With
although
him.
it would Yamcha and Krillin just stay there at the Kame house or to continue training? Because I
I
mean,
imagine they would stay there because they were done with adventuring as far as that's concerned.
yeah.
And I
Plus,
imagine at this
after
point
figuring
also,
out what Red Ribbon they're fighting the Red Ribbon, I'm like, okay,
yeah, they're like, what? No way. Yeah, we're gonna take this guy into we're gonna take this guy in at West City so that Yamcha can visit Bulma. And
yeah.
West
Actually,
City's
yeah,
gonna
but
lock him
Yamcha
up.
might take care of Blue, and plus they'd probably blindfold Blue so he can't use his
Right, yeah,
stare.
and he would be arrested in West City.
Ah,
'Cause, yeah,
so he survives this time around.
yeah, he survives because Tao doesn't kill him. Um,
Okay, that's interesting.
yeah, so there is that, and then
And we get
I
on
would
to the final
also
part.
argue,
What?
that this is where Chi-Chi's stop happens.
Stops.
Because she realizes how strong she is, but she's not as strong as Genmei. And she knows that her father's teacher is right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually
So
my
she
thought
would,
too. That she would have gotten off there and like, okay, I'm gonna start training here.
yeah. And the Pilaf gang would then ask, well, what are your orders, sir? Are we to continue with Genmei, or should we go off on this beach resort plan that you have? And he would kind of look at Genmei and he would say, on behalf of the royal family of Pilaf, I thank you for your service, but I don't think you need our help anymore. You've got a flying cloud, don't you?
Yeah, plus, right, yeah, Genmei has the two Dragon Balls now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, yeah, we get to the So yeah, this is where everyone sort of splits off.
Yeah, this is exactly where everyone starts splitting off. Except would Launch try to steal the treasure from Pilaf?
Probably maybe. Well, I prefer the idea that she just sort of does it, like I mean, it's
Well, if you would prefer the idea that she doesn't, then this is why Launch is an easy character to write for. Because if you would prefer she doesn't do anything, it's Blue Launch.
Yeah.
If you prefer she does something, it's Blonde Launch.
it could just be Blue Launch.
Yeah, so Blue Launch would be like, wow, that is a lot. I'm sure you'd need some help with that hotel business. Oh, the more the better, young woman.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. We're really setting up Launch with the Pilaf gang.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, so...
Would she be a bouncer? Blonde Launch would be a bouncer.
So maybe they open a nightclub. I don't know.
There could be a nightclub at the resort.
But this is where Genmei goes off to fight the Ribbon Rune Army.
Yeah,
Solo.
I think a similar thing would happen with Tao at at the
And
Corrin's Town. Yeah,
the Land of Corrin.
Land of Corrin, I think would still go about the same.
Yeah, because not only did General White and Colonel Silver bite the bullet.
Well, I don't think they
But-
would. Oh, that'd be interesting. And in this timeline, General White was the one who was killed by Tao.
By Tao. And you know what? Both of them.
Yeah, I can see both
Both
of them.
are killed by Tao. It's like Tao does the tongue on the side of the head thing to Colonel Silver.
Yeah.
And then as soon as General White realizes what's going on, he tries to run, but Tao's too quick. And then he does the shoe thing against the back of his head and kills him.
Yeah. Okay, so we've just switched out Blue's death for these two guys' death.
So Blue is arrested, and these two are killed by Tao.
Huh. Funny how timelines end up going down, aren't they?
Yeah, so then the Mystical Land of Corrin happens,
Yeah.
and the Dodon Ray is blocked instead by two Dragon Balls.
Well, it's blocked by the 4-star ball originally.
Yeah,
So
and now there's two Dragon Balls. So
yeah, so
would the
Tao only has
Dodon
2 Dragon
Ray
Balls to
be?
take, but it's still at the same time, Tao still needs to get a new set of clothes.
I just I just thought of something. We're talking about female Goku, and she has two Dragon Balls in her shirt.
No, don't you dare!
I'm sorry. That's where my thought process went.
That is a very bad thought process.
But it would be funny as hell. Don't tell me that Toriyama wouldn't play that.
You'd probably play that, but
But all right. So, would two Dragon Balls block a Dodon Ray better?
well, it was just the one Dragon Ball. It was the 4-star ball that blocked it.
Yeah. See, the thing is, though, after the 4-star ball blocked it, Goku was still on the ground. He still felt a good impact of that.
Yeah, I know.
So, would two Dragon Balls allow Genmei to feel it, be on the ground, and then just like 2 seconds later be like, ow, that hurt?
Well, the 2 Dragon Balls were in a bag that Tao took.
Oh, yeah, you're right, because then he had to come back.
Yeah, he had to come back for the third one. And Boro likely also died here, unfortunately.
Yeah, Bora dies.
Yeah.
Because that ends up being the whole arc, is now I need the Dragon Balls to bring Bora back.
Yeah. So he would still Genmei would still go up Korin's tower and would still be trained by him.
Yep, trained by Korin. And Korin would be surprised, you know. I imagine it would take Genmei a little, I would say a few hours quicker, due to the enemies she's had to fight that Goku didn't. Goku took a long while to beat the robot, so there's less Zenkai in that one. There's also less Zenkai in General Blue, but what Zenkai replaces it? Chi-Chi, for one. And for another, the fight with both General Blue, or not General Blue, both Colonel Silver and White at the same time. I imagine Chi-Chi wouldn't have been able to hold out for the whole fight, but Genmei's got the stamina that Chi-Chi doesn't because of Yoroshi's training. Yes, she has strength. Yes, she has endurance, but she doesn't have the stamina. That's what Roshi's training is wonderful at, is building stamina, which is, again, that also supports why Chi-Chi would stay behind.
Yeah, so it's a case of, it still takes 3 days for Genmei to get the water, realizing that, it's just tap water.
It's just tap water, but look at all the speed I got.
Yeah. She still get strong and would still beat Tao.
Yep, and Tao would still have the evil cloud.
Yeah.
He would end up going up there, and all that would still happen. He would come down. He would get a grenade in the face.
And we would not be seeing him until much later.
Yep, and then Genmei has to track down her Dragon Balls.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. I just remembered the Pilaf gang had one of the Dragon Balls. After.
Yeah, that's where the downside would be. That Dragon Ball's still lost because Pilaf has given up at this point.
Yeah, so it would probably be in some just random location.
Yeah, it would be a bonus location. This would be a good time to introduce a side, like a character from the tournament.
Yeah, but I think we'll still do the showdown with the Red Ribbon base though first. That's all.
Yeah, we would still do the showdown with the Red Ribbon base. We would get 6 of the 7 Dragon Balls.
Yep.
From all that, Genmei would still wreck. I
Shop.
don't think anybody would be in a plane going to help Genmei at this point.
Actually, honestly, I think they would still do it.
You think so?
I think so.
Even though the filler didn't really matter at the end, everybody landed like, oh, I'm done. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I still think they would show up just to help.
Yeah.
if she's fighting this army's base, then yeah, she might need help. And
Yeah,
then realizing
and
that
then
she
she
took on the Red Ribbon
realizes.
Army all by herself.
Mm.
Because we still need
Ooh,
that shock of like, she did all that by
by
herself.
herself, by herself. That just encourages Chi Chi to keep going,
Oh yeah, and anyone else.
and Krillin, because Krillin's now being showed up by a little girl.
And his crush, which Genmei would have like completely oblivious to.
Yep. So that would end up happening, and she would check the dragon radar, and it's
We
not
still
in
have the Baba
Pilaf's.
tournament though.
I don't think the Baba tournament will happen
Oh,
because
you're right.
the box that Pilaf used to block the dragon radar
Is not
is
there.
not in play.
Oh my
There would
god.
be no Baba tournament.
Damn. We skip out on a reunion between Gohan and Genmei.
Yeah. Yep. No Genmei and Gohan reunion in this timeline.
Oh, that kind of sucks, but
But
uh,
ah,
that does kind of suck.
and no Yamcha nosebleed to reveal the Invisible Man.
No, none of
Uh,
that. None of that
no.
happens.
Yep, none of that. No Fangs the Vampire. No Bandages the Mummy. No explode, explode. None of that.
Yeah. So, what was this idea for a character?
So because we kind of glossed over the the Girin race, I imagine that the additional character we already went through that. We got the river to flow through
Yeah.
Nam's village. I imagine the additional character involvement would have to do with going back to that area where the Red Ribbon Army, another sect of it, Colonel Violet has a job.
Well, actually, Violet took all the money from the Red Ribbon base and skedaddled. So
Yeah, you're right.
we just
We
come up with
can't
a
use Violet.
we could
You are
just
right. She ended up betraying the Red Ribbon Army at the end.
yeah. So we could just make up a character. I don't
We'd
know,
have to make up something.
Captain Copper or something.
Captain Copper.
Yeah, why
Wait,
not?
hold on. Well, why not let this be the part where Penguin Village comes in?
You're true. Yeah, you're right.
We could bring Penguin Village here, and it ends up being a gag manga episode while Genmei's trying to look for the Dragon Ball
Or
that's in his
multiple
village.
or multiple episodes of.
Of the gag manga. And here's a thought: she gets a real fight from a Rayleigh, because all the time she's always looking to train as well. So we actually get to see, instead of a Rayleigh helping Goku, we actually get to see a Rayleigh versus Genmei, which would be a great fight because of how gag manga the character is. I mean, we saw that in Super with Vegeta.
Yeah.
So we're getting that years before.
Well, so imagine that yeah, Genmei would get a new set of clothing after the one she's been wearing was just torn asunder.
Yeah. Yeah, she would end up I imagine she would get clothing akin to what the turtle school would wear again.
Yeah,
You know?
it was the same one. The guy who made the thing was like, yeah, just got the same.
Right. So that would play out with the last Dragon Ball being secured after a while in Penguin Village,
Yeah.
and she is super excited, and she ends up thanking everybody. Aurelie's happy, like, bye, come play wrestling again sometime. And
Yeah, so we still get our little crossover.
yep. And Genmei grabs the stoned 4-star ball after reviving Bora.
Yeah, and we then head into the 3-year time skip.
Yep.
And here's something I want to address, because Genmei would now start growing She's now 3 years older. Yeah, I imagine she's gonna start having more feminine,
Yeah, she's gonna have
aspects.
more
Yeah,
feminine features.
yeah.
I can see
Obviously,
that.
still a kid, so still. We have to wait until the 23rd to see, a nearly fully grown, Genmei. But
Right.
I do imagine that, yeah, it would be a case of while she's traveling the world, she's just like after the 3 years, she has grown, quite a bit taller, a bit. Um,
Yeah, she a little bit taller. She's gotten. She's begun puberty. Let's put it that way.
she's begun puberty,
She's
yes.
begun puberty. So she doesn't quite understand it though. So I imagine she would ask Bulma of all people.
Yeah, why her chest seems to be itchy.
Yep. And Bulma would explain, "Oh, you're growing up.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what happens."
Oh, I'm just
So
imagining. Hold on. You know how Goku spent like 3 years up in the lookout. Kami would have had to explain the birds and the bees to Goku.
I mean, that's fine.
No,
He
but
figured it out eventually.
it's just a funny idea that Kami has to
It
stand at
is.
like a whiteboard or a blackboard and just go like, okay,
Okay, but where does Genmei? Genmei still travels the world?
yeah, she should. I think
Like,
she.
how would that happen if Roshi doesn't give that order?
Well, I think it would still give that order.
Well, he gave that order after seeing Goku's performance in the Baba tournament. Guess what didn't happen in this timeline?
Well, I can still see I can still see Roshi after after seeing her manage to defeat the whole Red Ribbon Army. I feel like Roshi be like, okay, yeah, you don't need any
Yeah,
more.
after you're done getting that Dragon Ball, I want you to train properly. If you're able to take out the Red Ribbon Army, you need to experience life.
Yeah,
So she would take that on tap, and I imagine she would stop by Korrin's tower and ask Korrin's opinion, and
yeah.
just hearing Korrin's opinion would remind her because forgetful mind.
Oh, and this
Uh,
maybe when we get the Barber tournament, just like but it's during the 3 year time skip.
oh, so you think she would end up going to the Baba?
I know she's going
End up
out. She's
coming
going
across
about the world,
Baba's?
isn't she? She's going around the
Yeah.
world. So
Oh, here's a thought. Okay, so she's going around the world by herself, right?
yeah,
There's also other warriors going around the world by themselves. So she ends up meeting several different people along the way that she does end up training with, like Ino Shikacho,
yeah. I
for
think that
example.
happened. I think that happened near the end of the training
Yeah.
period. But
So here's a thought if you really want to include the Baba tournament. Genmei ruins Tien and Chaozu's little scheme that they had going on with that village
yeah,
earlier. So Tien and Chaozu have to travel, and they eventually find Baba's oasis, and they also find and Genmei finds Baba's oasis at the same time.
oh
They
god,
are introduced to Baba, and they all want to fight. They all want to fight strong opponents and get better and find out how to really achieve their maximum potential. So Tien, in his infinite wisdom, would say, "Look, if these fighters are really as strong as they are, we might need help, Chaozu. And you might need help too, girl.
yeah.
So what do you say? Let's team up and show Baba's fighters what real warriors are about."
Maybe this could happen before the Inoshika show thing. So, Genmei hasn't got a reason to not like them yet. So like
Yeah, they end up going to the Oasis. They use the Oasis as is, but they don't
they
fight.
meet. That's the
And
first time they're meeting, and then later on down the line during the 3 years they meet again. But then Genmei realizes, oh, they're just evil sons of bitches.
yeah, so that brings our team to, instead of Goku, Krillin, Yamcha, it's Genmei, Tien, Chaozu.
Oh god.
I
Yeah,
imagine Chaozu would go first, and thanks to his telekinetic powers, good luck, Fangs.
good
You're
luck.
done.
Good luck, Invisible Man.
Well, here's the thing about Invisible Man, though. Chaozu needs to see his opponent for the psychic powers to work.
Right.
So I imagine because Chaozu can't like understand what this strategy is, he's gonna try, he's gonna fail.
And then Tien's gonna come in and
And then
defeat.
Tien comes in, and thanks to his third eye, like something would happen there.
Where you could just see the
Espe-
Invisible Man's actual true form. And then you just.
well, I wouldn't even think it was a true form thing. Like with the third eye, he'd be able to pay attention to
Yeah, and he
multiple things
defeats.
at one time.
He then defeats. I imagine that he defeats both the Invisible Man and Bandages the Mummy.
Yep, he would be stronger than Yamcha at this point. So, yes, he would actually beat Bandages the Mummy.
And then defeated
then
by
we-
Devil Man.
Yeah.
I don't think he would.
I
If we don't want Tien to die, I imagine that maybe Genmei would then come in to take over.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
at this point, Tien is nowhere near pure of heart. So.
Yeah, but who would tell Genmei about the technique? Because the technique was shared by Roshi. Roshi's not there.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't really matter about the Devil Might beam because Genmei is not affected by it at all anyway.
But Tien is.
Yeah.
So would Tien lose his life?
If we want to actually have a Tien and not just kill him off.
So I did think about that. So how about Genmei saves Tien's life, like as Tien's being affected by it, right?
Yeah.
You know, Spike the Devil Man has to keep saying "explode, explode." As Tien's being affected by it, Baba's like laughing, and of course Genmei's like, "What's happening to him?"
Oh, it's Spike's little additive that he uses on fighters. The Devil Might beam explodes from within, causing all the sins of someone to backlash in a violent way.
Yeah.
Baba would be the person that tells her about it. She would pull out the power pole, extend it, and thwack Spike across the face. And as soon as Tien realizes he's not going to win if that thing's at his disposal, he gives up.
Yeah. And this might be an interesting turn of events for eventually down the line. Tien might actually during the early tournament might end up because he could
Not breaking Yamcha's leg.
Yeah, he might be like he was just saved by what. At this point, he doesn't know that Genmei is a turtle student. But once he finds out, he'll realize, wait, a turtle student saved me, even though I was a crane school student. Like, it just kind of, it wraps around his mind like, he was going to die unless she came along and helped him. And it'd be like okay, it might turn Tien sooner than before. It will be buzzing around in his mind for a while. He has a lot of time to process what that means.
So he would process what that means, and he would choose not to break Yamcha's leg.
Yeah, but
just kick him out of the ring when we get there.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Eventually, Spike tries to use the Devil Might beam, and it will do nothing.
Nothing to Genmei.
Nothing. And
that would surprise him, and then Genmei does what Goku did in the original. Spike is defeated.
And now here's the question. Gohan, he had a day, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a day on Earth.
So
to fight for Baba.
Yeah. So who would? Because that means Gohan wouldn't be here. He's already had his day.
I wouldn't even say he had his day. I imagine Baba brought Gohan in because she knew who Genmei was. You know? I feel like that 5th slot in Baba's roster is always going to be reflective of whoever she sees relating to whoever the fighter is
So
in
we
her
still,
crystal ball.
I got, yeah. I was thinking if it wasn't going to be Gohan, it'd be probably Mutahito or something. But
Yeah, if it wasn't going to be Gohan, but I imagine it would still be Gohan because
yeah,
she would look at her crystal ball and be like,
Oh, this one is the granddaughter of Gohan. I have some evil to do.
yeah. So
Gohan would fight Genmei,
and
and Genmei would be surprised, and of course Tien would be looking at this like, what is this? And Genmei would have to spell it out, like, oh, this is Gohan. He was the owner of this, and she would show the power pole, and he'd be like, oh, the Gohan? I thought he died.
yeah,
Well, yes, I did die,
as he points the halo over his head.
but Baba told me to come here and be sure Genmei here went down the right path.
And obviously they would have that reunion because
Yep.
without that reunion, that's just it feels wrong without having them
Right.
you reunite.
But Tien wouldn't reciprocate, like, softy. I see how it is.
Yeah, he's still in that mindset of an assassin. Plus, at this point,
Right.
Tien doesn't know that Genmei pretty much defeated Tao. Yeah. Oh.
Yep. And with the good thing that occurred earlier about saving Tien's life,
Yeah.
Tien will get to ask any question for Baba.
Yeah, because I imagine Genmei was like. I imagine Genmei would be like, "Oh, you have you have a free," and be like, "Nah, I'm good. I was only here to fight people."
Yeah. She would have just been there to fight people, and
So yeah, Tien gets.
I imagine Tien would ask, what kind of warrior am I going to be in the future? And he ends up discovering what kind of monster he will be if he keeps going down this path.
Oh god, we get a Tien who's just gonna like realize, oh yeah, because
He's going to realize
the future's
early.
still not set in stone yet. So the path that he's gonna go down is one of death and destruction and just
Assassinations, just like Tao was.
yeah. That does probably freak him out, or maybe it's some, but like, yeah, he might think he's going to be second guessing himself during the tournament.
Yeah, he is going to be second guessing himself, which brings us to the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament.
22nd.
22nd, you're right. Where Tien ends up not breaking Yamcha's leg.
But first off, we've still got that interaction. We've still got that interaction between the Crane and Genmei and Tien have known each other, but yeah, it's like and that's
You're
when
turtle school student.
it's like
Well, yeah.
yeah, of course I am, and that's he wouldn't say anything, but I'd probably think process. He'd be that sort of like loading circle, just the.
I was saved by a turtle school student. I brought shame to the Korean school.
Yeah. Also, I imagine that Genmei would tell. Oh yeah. She met Gohan during the 3 years.
Yeah. She would mention I got to meet my grandpa. It was really cool. And Roshi, but how did you manage to meet a dead guy? Oh, I met this old lady named Baba.
Baba.
You met Baba?
She's my sister.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that little tidbit would come out.
And he probably Roshi would think like, how did you get past Devil Man?
I don't know. It just happened.
He didn't do anything to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Holy
He just did it, and it didn't. I don't know.
Right. So then the 22nd World Martial Arts
Yeah.
Tournament looks different. Now I would say Pamput doesn't happen
Oh.
because we have a Chi-Chi.
Yes. That actually, I love the idea that in the preliminaries, it's Pamput tries to do that whole, he's a very popular with the ladies, and I imagine he's gonna try and basically say something along the lines of, along the lines of like, if you let me win, I'll just give you my autograph, or we can.
Yeah, something like that. And she would say, "No,
I want to fight
because you
you.
might be a Hollywood star, but I'm a princess."
Oh no, I'm talking about Genmei fighting him.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Chi-Chi taking him out.
No, Genmei just fights him in the preliminaries, and he just Genmei's like,
Wipe the floor with him.
who are you? I just want to fight. I'm not interested in some stupid autograph.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Genmei has no clue who this guy is. He just
Yeah. So then the roster looks like first match Wolfman versus
actually
Sean.
there is no Wolfman.
What?
The moon wasn't destroyed.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we can keep Pamput then, can't we?
Yeah, we could keep Pamput.
So who fights Roshi in the first round?
Well, here's the thing. Tien pretty much rigged the games, so it depends on who he would want to put Roshi up against.
Put Roshi up against Pamput.
Yeah, he just wants to keep. Yeah, honestly, he probably just want to show that upstart,
Yeah, show that upstart. There's more to life than just your silver screens.
Yep.
And then the second match would be Tien versus Yamcha.
Yes, this time it wouldn't be
This time Tien wouldn't break his leg and just kick him out, and he'd just look at Genmei just staring at him saying, "I did that. I could have broken something, but I did that because of what you did for me. We're even."
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
So the third match would be
Where? What was it originally?
we have Genmei, Chi-Chi, Krillin, and there was supposed to be one more.
So I think that was the second match.
Chaozu.
Yeah, so Chaozu versus Krillin it was normally.
Yeah. And then we'd get a rematch of Chi-Chi versus Genmei.
Which I still imagine Genmei would win.
And Genmei would win, and that's like Chi-Chi would be like, how are you so fast? Oh, well, while I was traveling, I met this guy named Korin. And that's where Chi-Chi would know about the Tower of Korin.
Ah. Yeah.
So guess what she's gonna do after the tournament?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She gonna do that.
Yeah. Also, I imagine during the Tien Yamcha fight, Yamcha shows off his own Kamehameha.
Yeah, I would even say like a precursor. Well, yeah, he did that in the original, didn't he?
Oh, I think it was, yeah. So, I mean, it
I
doesn't...
think
Yeah, so he's the only one, and I feel like he would want to learn to do it, because three of them, like, Krillin, Genmei, and Chi-Chi all know it. So he's like, I'm gonna learn that stuff.
So and then we'd have the Genmei versus Krillin.
Yeah, which would be the fight with, obviously, with Genmei showing a lot more. She has a lot more feminine look to her now that she's sort of started going through puberty. So,
Yep. And
like,
we also have.
so there's no more mistaking Genmei for a boy.
Right, there isn't. They're very aware, and I think this tournament would go about the same for the rest of it because we still have Tien versus Chun.
Yeah, and Chun would still do.
Chun would still jump out of the ring and be like, "Yeah, you're good."
Yeah, and I think this would completely flip Tien's mind on things.
Right. In fact, Genmei wouldn't take as much damage from the paralysis trick.
Yeah, he'd probably even say to Chaozu to not do.
Would stop it sooner.
Yeah, he would.
Yep. So I imagine it just goes the same way.
Yeah, it goes the same way.
Tien is the second one to hit the ground, so therefore he wins.
Yep, second one to hit the ground. So, still, that tournament just goes. But I do imagine there is some aspects of Bulma, because obviously, like I said before, Genmei would be starting to go through that go through puberty.
Yeah.
Like, so it is a case where Genmei would probably go to the either launch or Bulma on that subject.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that would happen in the background. But for the rest of the tournament, that just it goes relatively the same.
Here's a thought. Would Chi-Chi be the one that gets killed by Tambourine?
Oh my god, I think she would probably.
Because she would volunteer to help, go get the power pole before Krillin.
Yeah, because she's best friends with.
Yeah, so Chi-Chi would be the one killed by Tambourine.
Oh, that would piss off Ox King. Like,
Yeah.
that would
Ox
probably
King-
make Ox King go after Tambourine.
Ox King would become a player in this.
Yeah. He'd be like, yeah, he would. Also, we kind of forgot, Bora was probably brought back by the Dragon Balls. Yeah.
The Bora was brought back, and then they got the stoned 4-star ball.
Yeah. So, Ox King, I feel like is gonna want to go after Tambourine.
Yeah, avenge his daughter.
Yeah.
But not go after Tambourine because he would find out, oh, King Piccolo is back, Master? Well, you're gonna need help. So I imagine he would be with the crew of...
Yeah,
Tien,
well,
Roshi.
Genmei, in a rage, would go after Tambourine and all that entails.
Yeah. And I imagine, she would go after Tambourine, and Krillin would try to be on her tail, because
Yeah.
it was... They're the power trio.
Yeah, they are the power trio
Krillin
at this point,
and Genmei. So when Genmei calls the flying Nimbus, I imagine Krillin would grab her shirt and be like, "Hey, you're not going without me."
And this time, we get to see Krillin able to actually sit on the Nimbus without falling through it.
Yeah, because he's doing this righteously. He's doing this for Chi-Chi.
Yeah, he's changed a lot. He's matured and grown.
He's matured, he's grown, he's trained with Yamcha. And that's also in addition, because Yamcha's leg isn't broken, he's not retreating to Kame House.
No, he's going to go with Tien, Chiaotzu, Roshi, and Ox King.
Yeah, and they're all going to end up fighting King Piccolo.
Yeah, but in the meantime, obviously... Oh, that means maybe Krillin gets the Ultra Divine Water as well.
Yeah, that's a possibility. That or Krillin ends up dying too at the hand of King Piccolo.
But well, here's the thing: Krillin is with Genmei, right? So Tambourine.
Yeah, so Genmei would come across. Genmei would come across Yajirobe after both of them are.
Yeah, because I imagine that Genmei does try to fight it and then gets whacked, and then Krillin goes to do it like, "How dare!" and then gets also knocked to the ground. Not dead.
Yeah, they end up falling in two separate places.
Yeah.
And I imagine in the middle of eating the fish, Krillin kind of finds Genmei. Is like, "Oh, thank goodness, that's not your fish. What are you doing?"
Hungry.
I'm almost hungry.
Yeah, and then they would obviously meet
They piss off
Yajirobe.
Yajirobe, and they promise to try to bring something bigger. And then what is it? Symbol arrives on the scene.
Yeah, I think it was
Yajirobe
Symbol.
shows off his stuff.
And then Yajirobe kills and eats him.
Yep, and then Tambourine shows up.
And both Krillin and Genmei fire a Kamehameha together at Tambourine, eviscerating him.
Yep. And I think with King Piccolo on the horizon, this would be a good spot to stop for our viewers out there to ponder what else might go wrong with this scenario.
Yeah. Maybe we will do a sequel to this going into the...
May. Tell you what, if y'all can get this up to 50 likes...
Hey, it's my channel.
Oh, but I mean, that's what I'd suggest. What do you think?
With me, I'm just like, yeah, just watch it. I'll probably just make another one.
Yeah, just watch it.
just watch it. Probably make another one. Don't really care about the likes.
Thought experiment though. I did like it. I did like it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to give you too much to have to edit through because I know how painful this can be.
Oh, so that's about it's reaching about 2.5 hours. So I'll probably cut it.
That's ideal.
Yeah.
That is ideal. That's about how long my Stevdes discussions go.
Yeah. So yeah. Until then, we do the next one of these.
Definitely.
We'll see ya.
Yep, take care, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want some more awesome content from this channel.
Don't try to step on my toes here.
Okay, Alfred, fine. I'm sorry, I'm sensational.
I'm like, just watch it. I mean, I don't really care about
Just
anything.
watch it.
Just watch it.
I'm passionate about it.
You're passionate. It's also been fun just to see how the peel-off gang I probably have gone off and done their
man,
like
I can't
resort.
wait to elaborate more on what happens in the peel, especially in Z.
Oh yeah, that's
Can you
awesome.
imagine they work with Capsule Corp for that? That's great.
Oh yeah. Well, until next time. See ya.